Only 27 days out from the historic election. We are in the final countdown. I'm your host, Alex Jones. I talk about an information overload quickening. It has officially happened. In between Infowars.com and DrudgeReport.com alone, I was up till 1 in the morning researching last night. I got up at 6 a.m., didn't even work out today so I could just focus on all that's coming out with WikiLeaks, and my head is spinning. WikiLeaks has redeemed itself. They have released incredible information. And interestingly enough, Paul Watson is the guy up in the middle of the night every night churning this out. Out of the hundreds of huge pieces of news I have, the two top ones are emails that we first targeted and broke, which I'm very proud of Paul Watson. This latest data dump happened late last night. Paul's been on it all night long. Notice it's the top link on Drudge. Hates everyday Americans. That is in the email. We have it in her email that she hates everyday Americans. We already knew that. The bitter clingers that Obama talks about, the basement dwellers, the baristas that she talks about. And now, WikiLeaks bombshell, Hillary Clinton hates everyday Americans. Classic. We'll show TV viewers a document cam if you can right here. There is Hillary in her famous witch hat. And it really wasn't tongue-in-cheek yesterday when I said she's a literal demon, but I don't mean she's physically came out of hell and isn't a human. I'm saying she acts like a demon-possessed creature like Adolf Hitler. I mean, you know, these are evil, dark people. You can see it. You see it in their actions, but just the energy field around them. And the media's made a huge, big joke out of that. But everybody who's close to Hillary is horrified of her. And the emails all show that. She throws constant fits. She's vindictive. She's vicious. There's a trail of death behind her. And she, quote, hates everyday Americans. We're going to get into that in great detail. That article by Paul Joseph Watson with the WikiLeaks from April 2015, how much she hates Americans, is another one that broke last night. The Drudge Report had top story as well. Clinton campaign emails outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Now, I want to explain something to you, folks. That is a quote. It actually says, we have an effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Remember what Gruber said? Thank God they don't pay attention and are so stupid. These are the people that have filed the Clinton campaign with fake names, not Jane Doe, but totally fake names, Trump raped me suits, and now the same people with new Jane Doe names have filed another one. And the Trump campaign says, great, we hope we get served this time, because we're going to have sanctions on the people that bring this forward, the lawyers. This is totally fake. And they're spamming it all over the New York Times, you name it, and they're calling it Trump bragging about sexual assaults. He said, no, these women come after you so hard, you could just grab them and they don't even get mad. It's a figure of speech saying I mean, you look at these videos of the women glomming on him. They're just throwing themselves like it's Elvis Presley. You know, when he first got big in the 1950s, and women are just throwing themselves with the Beatles. I mean, I'm not some Mr. Superstar, but let me tell you, it's actually not fun, because I'm a family person, and it's craven out there, because folks will then throw themselves at you and then later, you know, say that you're throwing yourself at them. So it's a very, very dangerous road. It's what gets every great man in trouble in history generally. But comparing what Trump's done to this is just not even the same universe. Hillary's orders and orders and orders of magnitude worse. And the reason I keep plugging Drudge is Infowars and Drudge are the reason in Breitbart we're even knowing about these leaks. Hillary, it's come out in new articles, WikiLeaks crisis continues, has ordered the media not to cover it, and most of them aren't. They're picking some little side issue and focusing on that to deceive their viewers. Okay, get ready. There is an information overload, as I said in the first segment, if you missed it. My head is spinning at this point. It's been reported in Politico, Fox News, you name it. It's all linked up on Infowars.com. And DrudgeReport.com has undoubtedly the best coverage and easiest to find across the board when it comes to the actual news videos and articles to see it for yourself, and the WikiLeaks themselves. Armies of reporters pouring through them, our reporters and researchers and investigative journalists pouring through it. Paul Watson's already found just incredible information I'm going to get to in a moment. But first off, the White House is involved, so is Hillary campaign. They are publicly telling media, do not treat this as a FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Do not treat this, no. And of course, they ignore most of the FOIAs now, so notice people just go to hacking. This is illegal, and they're implying it's criminal if you cover WikiLeaks. This started 10 years ago when WikiLeaks first started leaking information. And they were saying, if you carry it, you're going to be arrested. Well, folks en masse ignored them. And that's the essence of freedom. When you see something criminal, when you see globalists doing really bad things, and they're using national security to hide what they're doing, they must be exposed. That is our duty. So WikiLeaks releases another 1,100 emails from John Podesta in third data dump in just 5 days. Good. And imagine, this strategy is incredible. With 27 days left, now the word is WikiLeaks is going to start hitting like water torture every day. Bam, 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 bam. It is a feeding frenzy. And then right up to the election day, 10 data leaks. I mean, that's what the pattern I'm seeing. It's an exponential growth curve. It shows WikiLeaks has some really smart advisors. I've got to say, I kind of blew up last week, everybody being trolled, but I get the fact he wasn't trolling us, he was trolling the MSM. Now, continuing, here's two of the big ones right now. WikiLeaks bombshell, Hillary Clinton hates everyday Americans, close quote. Campaign manager John Podesta in shocking admission. This is unbelievable. It's on Infowars.com right now. This is the article. Send to everyone you know. This is what my crew needs to be focused on. I rarely give a directive. But I'm saying we need to focus, obviously, on WikiLeaks, and we need to focus on the fact that we're bitter clingers. We're horrible baristas. What's wrong with that? That's a pretty high-paying blue-collar job. I know baristas that make $100,000 a year. They're good and charming at the right place. It's a hard job, too. The point is that it's insulting. These folks that say you can't have cars, you can't have air conditioning with their own jumbo jets. These are the ultimate elitists that want to make you poor so they can disdain you. They're the ultimate classist. And it goes on and ties into everything else she and Obama and others have said. These are nasty people. Real libertarians, real constitutionalists want to make you wealthy. We want to build a prosperous nation. That's what America was about. This isn't new, elites keeping money and land away from the general public to control them. It's called feudalism. And it's been practiced by every culture from ancient Africa to ancient Japan to ancient China to ancient Europe to ancient Mesoamerica. It's the same thing. And every time you get a centralized class in, the Renaissance that built the structure then starts unraveling. And then there's a long decline. I mean, when there were over 100,000 Aztec warriors, when a couple hundred of Cortez's men showed up, and they just killed them. And it's because they were so decadent, so out of their minds, so completely out of control. And it's the same syndrome. WikiLeaks, bombshell, Hillary Clinton hates everyday Americans, campaign manager John Podesta in shocking admission. New WikiLeaks, folks, I have hundreds of these. I don't know how I'm going to do this. The new WikiLeaks email released just moments ago includes a shocking admission by Clinton campaign manager John Podesta that Hillary Clinton has begun to hate everyday Americans. Wow. See, even their own people, we have Secret Service tell us this, high-level Democrats that have told me that they don't know why. I kind of made a joke about it since she's a demon yesterday. The media took it literal, because I made the joke literal, like literally Hitler. And I said, the word is she stinks. She's falling down all the time. She's meaner than ever, yelling, screaming. That's what 2 Secret Service agents say, an FBI agent say, and everybody, and the emails of everybody that know her says this woman is psychotic. The whistleblower organization dumped Part 3 of its Podesta email release today, and this has to be the most jaw-dropping revelation yet. Amen to that. The email sent by Podesta of just April last year contains a discussion of what talking points Hillary should use in framing her candidacy for president in order to get a good head start. I know she has begun to hate everyday Americans, but I think we should use it once the first time she says, I'm running for president, because, everyday Americans need a champion. And it goes on from there. Just like Biden. as bad as he is, I don't think he's a literal, psychopath. I mean, he's bad. He's just a mobster. When he's speaking in these battleground stations, he goes, I know a lot of you don't like Hillary. I get it, okay? Because everybody knows she stole it from Bernie Sanders. But go ahead and vote for her. She's better than Trump. What have I told you thousands of times the last year in this campaign season? Hillary doesn't want you to be prosperous. She hates you. Donald Trump loves average people and is an average, in the street kind of guy. That's what everybody's told me behind the scenes for years. Give you the shirt off his back. If you mess with him, he'll turn on you very, very quickly. That's it. That's all that's going on with Trump. With Hillary, she doesn't give tips. She loves to get little people fired. She doesn't give Christmas presents. She treats everybody around her horribly, and that's the good Hillary, not the missile secrets to China and funding jihadis and all the weirdness. These are bad people. Now, this goes on from here. I mean, I've got to move quick. This is Bombshell. It goes email after email in here. Just go read it for yourself, how much she hates you and your family. I mean, you've got David Brock in the White House run Media Matters and the Soros Fund of Media Matters attacking me every day saying, Jones says Hillary hates you and your family. Jones says Hillary has it out to get you. Ha, 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 look, I'm dead on. I've been covering this woman for 21 years. I've interviewed the state police, the mistresses, the rape victims. I know Hillary Clinton. Okay? Let's continue. Clinton campaign, this is almost as big. It might be bigger. Clinton campaign email outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry, just like they live. Sleep, 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 sleep. Put you in a trance state. You think you're part of a winning team, even though Hillary wants to make you poor to control you and end the middle class for pure dominance. Clinton campaign email outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. And then it goes on. A Clinton campaign email released as part of the WikiLeaks data dump earlier today talks about the need to maintain political power by producing an unaware and compliant citizenry, close quote. Producing an unaware and compliant citizenry, close quote. What do we tell you every day? They want you unconscious, kind of halfway, thinking you're, in charge and your lady's going to win. And yeah, we're trendy. And yeah, we're on the winning team. You're on the chump team. You're like somebody at Jim Jones's Guyana compound drinking the grape Kool-Aid or the cherry Kool-Aid when it's full of cyanide. You're like people in cults giving their kids over to be sacrificed. I mean, you're under mind control. I don't have any illusions about Trump being perfect or some of the bad Republicans that are around him and the rest of it. But listen, he isn't out to get us, okay? That could be his campaign. Trump Pence, not out to get you. I mean, that's all. I've never heard of someone this evil about to be president. Just saying. The email was sent to Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, by former Clinton administration official Bill Ivey on March 13th, 2016. Folks, this is nothing new. I've read books by the current White House science czar, John P. Holdren. I've read books by Zbigniew Brzezinski. I've read books by Carol Quigley, the head of Georgetown Political Science. It was written for the State Department, where they say we want a compliant public basically in a trance. So that's what we've got happening here. And it goes on to say in the email, Ivey outlines the panic amongst some Democrats that Donald Trump's celebrity politics persona cannot be matched by Hillary's, who is not an entertainer, not a celebrity in the Trump-Kardashian mold. And then it just goes into, as I've mentioned, we've all been quite content to demean government, drop civics in general, conspire to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry, he writes. See, they've all conspired to distract you, divert you as a permanent ruling class. That's why you see the State Department spokesperson, and that's why you see the lawyers for the White House on Charlie Rose, which is a, quote, intellectual show on PBS, just for insiders and wannabe insiders to watch, where they celebrate and make fun of everybody and talk about how dumb the underclass is. And go, thank God they believed it when we said we could keep their doctor. In fact, we have a compilation of those videos. We can play them again if you like. Dude, I know you made a long, slick one, and so did McBreen. Can I just have them raw? You know, Gibbs saying, I was told to tell the public there's no drone program years after it publicly exists. Ah, ha, ha. And Gruber saying, thank God the public doesn't pay attention, is dumb. And Charlie Rose, White House lawyers calling us dumb. And the State Department outgoing head saying, thank God we're so evil and horrible. Ha, ha, ha. I mean, it goes on and on. This is what they do. I've been around them. I had the head of the Kissinger Group 8 years ago during breaks saying, Alex, come to New York. Alex, come on. You're one of us. You can, you know, you're already, you know, the leader of people that question and are thinking. You're not one of the public. You can't help them. Come up here. And I'm like, no. And he's like, I can't believe this. Well, whatever. Then I'm not going to complete the interview. I go, no, don't be a coward. Do one more segment. John Herman running the show right now in my ear. He's the guy. He's been on the show. He's talking about it. Heard it all. He's heard top people at the Army and Navy joint, you know, strike laboratories from their war colleges come on during the breaks and be like, you'll never defeat our world government, Jones. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we really should record with people during the breaks, but I don't do that. I'm so chivalrous, but they're so nasty. I mean, the stuff Harmon's heard over the years is incredible. Behind the scenes, like, you'll never defeat us. I mean, it's like, whoa. I mean, because they acted nice on the air, and during the break, it's like, to use the Star Wars analogy, where Senator Palpatine's all, hi, everybody. I'm so sweet. Oh, yeah. Behind the scenes, you'll never beat us. The power of the world government is unstoppable. And you're like, whoa. I told you, Gary Johnson was in here, I think it was earlier this year, last year, he was last in studio, and just acting like a lunatic during the breaks going, and I was just like, and you notice if he doesn't like reporters now, he just goes, I don't care if the trolls take that out of context and make fun of me. Whatever, I don't care. That makes us bigger. People go, oh, who's this clown? And they come find the real show. I'm showing you what Gary Johnson was doing during the break. I said, well, it was good to see you. And he's like, yeah. Like he was a Muppet out of the Dark Crystal. I mean, I don't know. It's like they're possessed by space aliens or something, man. I don't mean that literally, but they don't act like humans. Hillary, Gary Johnson, I mean, I've been around it enough where they'll be acting totally normal and totally nice and then just snap. I mean, I'll build up and get mad sometimes, but they'll just have this little fake face on and just instantly go from 0 to 100 flipping out. I'm sorry. I've only hit 2 of the stories. I'm sorry, but how am I supposed to do this? I have probably, I'm not going to exaggerate, this is probably 300 articles today, hundreds of leaks. I don't even know what to say at this point, okay? Yes, he was doing that to me in the studio, what we have on screen. Just total disdain, total delusion. I'm in charge. I'm a god. Everybody I've run into that's super arrogant and thinks they're a god is actually a mental midget. And the Bible talks about a great delusion. That's what it is. These people are already tuned into a virtual reality or something. I don't know what planet they come from, but man, it isn't Earth. And I mean that as a parable, not literal, New York Times. So here we go. Clinton campaign email outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. By the way, some of these emails came out 2 days ago. More came out today. We already knew this. She's already been caught lying to Congress a bunch. But the reason he said indictable is, and I've got that in the stack, is it's clearly Chelsea, who they're calling a brat, but she's the one going, this is illegal. I'm the head of this, and I have people, I'm paid $6 million a year. I have people telling me, give me access on this $9 billion lawsuit, you know, out of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, and make this call and shut down this lawsuit. And they're openly telling me, hey, I gave millions of dollars. You're supposed to do this, Chelsea. You know, Bill Clinton told me so. And she's like, I don't want to go to jail. We have all the emails. I was reading them this morning. It's total overload. And guess what? They got those deals they wanted. And they're like, Chelsea's going to make our staff members commit suicide because she's a spoiled brat and isn't doing her job. No, Chelsea's actually has some soul, I think. She's in the earlier emails, you know, saying, I'm really worried. You know, these kids are dying of cholera. We're taking all the money. Dad, Mom, what the hell? Now, you're still living in the $10 million penthouse. You should leave your evil family. You should expose them. There's another Darth Vader analogy, but I'm not going to use this as Secret Services to show up. I don't think she should literally throw them down the reactor shaft. But if you want to get reprieved, you need to politically throw your parents down the reactor shaft. There's still time, Chelsea. You know, Webster Hubbell isn't as evil as Bill. You ought to be proud he's not your daddy. And then it goes on. There's other staffers going, we're really hurting people. Why are we doing this? Like, shut up. I mean, he goes on and on and on and on. And Hillary blowing up and Hillary flipping out and Hillary calling everyone scum. But meanwhile, as I've mentioned, we've all been quite content to demean government, drop civics, and in general, conspire to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Unaware and compliant. That's the name of the game. The unawareness remains strong, but compliance is obviously fading rapidly. This problem demands some serious, strong thinking, and not just poll-driven, demographically inspired messaging. That means race war. That's what's in all the latest emails from Soros says, our plan is to bring in incompatible groups, cause disturbances, and then bring in a strong central government to deal with the problem. And in the same accent, Brzezinski is, I concur with your analysis. Launch operations. 10 billion per year, per annum, 100 billion per decade. Launch operations. Operation Chaos Directive. I mean, this is beyond a James Bond movie. They all have James Bond villain voices. They all have James Bond villain past. The new James Bond villain that runs Spectre is the Quantum Group. That's the literal name of his criminal organization. And I was told by a former high-level CIA person, a retiree, who won't come on the show anymore. He just says humanity's lost and won't come on. He told me 50 years ago, because his dad had been high-level CIA, that Spectre was real and that the symbol is a Hydra. See, that's art imitating life, folks, not the other way around. And we're sitting here with Hydra running things, trying to start a war with Russia. Hydra's got operatives in Russia too, folks. Don't think for a minute. Playing us off against each other. That's what the Rothschilds have always done. And we're living in a real-life comic book nightmare, Armageddon. You know, the new comic book by Marvel, Armageddon. You know, the powerful Lord Soros prepares for global race war and nuclear war. Meanwhile, the public watches football. I mean, I don't need to read comic books, folks. We're in it. And we have all the proof. Our operational directive to keep them in a trance state has been holding, but we're beginning to lose the control. They're coming out of the trance, your lordship. We must launch demographic operations immediately. I concur with your analysis. I mean, it's here. James Bond meetings. Hundreds of them. You got all concurring with everything. And then you see them on the news. You see it. I mean, there's been like 50 movies about black people being tortured and killed by evil white people the last 4 or 5 years. Sometimes I go to the movie theater trying to see a movie, and like 2 of the movies are race war movies. 2 of the movies are white people doing evil things to black people to conjure up a race war. I mean, Hollywood has been ordered. This is the season. Launch it. And here it is. We can't hold them. The trance has fallen. They're going to find out about our plan. Their plan is fluoride in the water. John P. Holdren wrote in 1974, the year I was born, for Ecoscience, for the major global combines of UNESCO, that we are going to put additives in the water to calm and make the public servile. 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 Okay, I've hit 2. I literally have 290-something left. It just goes on and on. And there's more. I mean, this is just 2 of them. I haven't even covered them properly. People ask why I have so much energy. This is epic, ladies and gentlemen. We have them. We have them now. They are in our political gun sights. Fire at will. You take this. I went and ate this morning at a little liberal diner in East Austin, and I had all the liberals coming over saying, you're right, you're right. Hillary's really scary. She's evil. Well, is Trump okay? And I go, well, he's probably a narcissist like anybody, you know, who's high-powered like that. But I said, look, we know Hillary's pure evil. And I said, you got to get past all the trendiness, and you just got to tell everybody we've got to support Trump. They're like, no, everybody's been saying that. You're right. You're right. I'm like, yeah. I mean, people need to know, man. You think Trump's involved in all this crap? All this subterfuge? He does whatever he wants. There's no subterfuge with Trump. There's no, unless you just straight shoot him. He doesn't listen to hardly anybody, but straight shooters. All right, folks, I want to open the phones up and not just hog the airtime. I want to get your response to these WikiLeaks. There's hundreds and hundreds of them, and they can spend this however they want. Daily Caller has it. InfoWars has it. WikiLeaks bombshell. Hillary Clinton hates everyday Americans. The way they're spinning it, though, is she hates to use that term. No, that's what she basically means from my view, but you can interpret it the other way. How about, though, when you get into this email I just mentioned, Clinton campaign email outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Here, let's read this. As I've mentioned, we've all been quite content to demean government, drop civics, and in general, conspire to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Okay, this is Ivey, chairman of the National Endowment for the Arts, and of course, one of the top advisors talking to the Clintons. He writes, as I've mentioned, we've all been quite content to demean government, drop civics, and in general conspire to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Remember the New York Times articles where they say we should all work together basically to lie about Trump? You know, that's ethical. It goes on. The unawareness remains strong. Talk about the public. But compliance, that's submission, is obviously fading rapidly. This problem demands some serious thinking, and not just poll-driven, demographically inspired messaging. They want racial control. And Soros says it plain out. We're going to bring in Muslims that are incompatible. We're going to have people be put in their groups. We're going to then stir them up to cause a bunch of trouble so that the population then starts disliking them, and now you have divide and conquer. They're creating racism. They're creating resegregation at the high schools and colleges, with the minority saying we don't want to be integrated. The opposite of Martin Luther King. A total betrayal of all that, whatever you thought of it. Now look what they're doing, and they're calling it anti-racism as they attack the language, the culture, everything. Looking at Drudge, Assange drones Hillary, releases another 1,000 emails from Podesta. How Podesta's obsessed with UFOs. How Saudi Arabia and Qatar are funding ISIS, which they've always known that Saudi Arabia and Qatar are funding it. So is Hillary and Obama and NATO. Boom, that's big news. And it should be translated how Hillary worked Saudi Arabia and ISIS to fund it. I mean, we've always known that. We broke that. Everybody knows it. General Flynn, the head of the Defense Intelligence, went public and said it last year. Univision chief urged Clinton to hit harder. Yes, and all the race baiting. CNN Jake Tapper congratulated Podesta. CNBC John Harwood advises campaign. And he was a debate moderator. New York Times gave Hillary veto power on quotes. Wow, running the New York Times. That's the real headline. She's the editor-in-chief of the New York Times. Boy. Boston Globe coordinated to max her presence in paper. She was told when to smile. Aide calls Chelsea spoiled brat. Notice she was told when to smile. They have to handle her now. She's degenerated so much mentally. She was an amazing mind. Brazil busted. DNC chief shared CNN town hall questions. Oh, caught rigging the debates, caught rigging the town halls. Yeah, you got actors and actresses too. Boom, caught. Confirmed. Leaked Sanders dirt to hurting. Directed the media against Sanders. Clinton, we already knew that, but just more proof. Clinton campaign had discussions with DOJ. Oh, how to not go after her. Totally illegal. Their campaign had discussions with the head of the Justice Department, Loretta Lynch. And Bill Clinton had illegal discussions on an airplane, but it's okay because they're the bosses now. We the bosses, we the bosses, just as State Department coordinated email release. So as they coordinated the email release, they were coordinating with the DOJ, and it's come out, that's coming up next. It's come out, ladies and gentlemen, that indeed there were illegal emails. There were people asking for favors saying, hey, I've given money. Now shut down this lawsuit. Give me this deal. Introduce me to the Chinese president. It's all here. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of pages. Thousands more emails coming out every day. Individual emails sometimes are 20 pages long. We're trying to go through it all here. This is mind-blowing. 800-259-9231. Again, game changer. New WikiLeaks confirms Hillary deliberately criminally deleted emails. That is broken down on Infowars.com. Hillary in linked emails. Saudi Arabia, Qatar funding ISIS. Just mentioned that, but there it is. There's another weird one. Hillary Clinton literally croaks like a frog. That's coming up later. Now, let's get into some of these other WikiLeaks. Man, I tell you, this is just blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind that things have gotten this crazy in this country. And as you just look at these unfolding, it makes the head spin. I mean, how much more has to come out until she gets in trouble. She can't get in trouble. They've got the FBI director that used to do their taxes and from their law firm. They've got Loretta Lynch, literally their minion. They've got a judge they appointed, Obama appointed, with these reportedly made-up child rape, teenager rape stories on Trump from 22 years ago. They have got their people in every major agency. And they're saying, Jay Johnson, all of them, are openly coming out now with Loretta Lynch saying, we're going to start censoring talk, radio, the internet, the Federal Elections Commission, the FCC. There are board members on both of them that are not globalists, and they're saying, they're openly saying they're going to start shutting everybody down. And as soon as Hillary gets in, she said, the alt-right does not have a right to exist. And folks, are you stupid out there? If there was a Republican and he said, Michael Moore doesn't have a right to exist, I would say that's wrong. As much as I disagree with Michael Moore on many issues, he has a First Amendment right, and this president needs to be impeached if he makes any moves towards free speech. I mean, I would 100%. The so-called left, the fascist left, praised Dinesh D'Souza, who got 4 friends to give a few $1,000s and didn't fill out the right PAC information, and he was sent to prison. And Hillary can get money from the Communist Chinese and the Saudi Arabians totally illegally, and it's just fine. They celebrate that. They call him a crook. They say he deserves it, blah, blah, blah. I've read these different federal election rules. They're impossible to follow. It's all selectively enforced. And that's what they've set us up in. The essence of tyranny is when it's selective enforcement. There's laws making everything illegal, except they don't follow the laws or they get waivers. Just like Obamacare. Thousands of big companies were given Obamacare waivers. They don't have to get Obamacare. They can keep their employees at minimum wage and not do it. But then everybody else does, and guess what they do? They downsize or shut down. And that's fine, because the other part of the economy that's exempt, it grows. That's what this is. That's what's unfolding here. And you've got David Brock openly run by the White House and run by the Clinton campaign in these super PACs giving money to himself as a pass-through. And they say that's illegal. But hey, so what? He doesn't go to jail because he's got fake Einstein hair. And as long as you're with the Democrats and have fake Einstein hair and act like you're intellectual, everything's okay. Now, let's continue here, ladies and gentlemen. 800-259-9231. I've got a bunch of clips I want to get to, and then we're going to start going to your phone calls. But here's some of the other news I haven't gotten to. Jerry Falwell Jr. said this yesterday, thinks the GOP establishment leaked the Trump tape. It might even have been a conspiracy. Well, I know this, and Trump knew it was too sophisticated because, quite frankly, the public's dumbed down. On average, he didn't go there. It's highly edited. He's being led on in discussions. I've had people do this to me and try to edit it, and a few times even kind of halfway try to blackmail us, like, oh, we got this tape of you saying this. And I'm like, yeah, that's clearly edited. Go ahead and release it. And, of course, it never gets released because it's edited. It's all mixed together. You listen to it clearly. He's talking about she's married. And when he found that out, then he, then she's married. So, you can tell they cut there. He's like, yeah, they'll let you do anything. He means like they're up in his face on him, and then he can grab them. It's crude. It's not good. But compared to Bill Clinton, it's nothing. He apologized. The point is, do they get in trouble for anything? No. The public's told to selectively only get upset about this in mind control. So Jerry Falwell Jr. thinks the GOP establishment leaked the Trump tape. Absolutely. You know why some of the decent folks that are left from the Christian right are finally woken up to how evil the Republican establishment is, and they realize that Trump's got a lot of really good patriots like General Flynn and others around him that are advising him who really do want to try to fix this country and aren't out to wreck the nation. Continuing. This came out today. Did Paul Ryan's top advisor leak the Trump tape? And then it goes on to people connected, high-level media, saying, no, indeed, that is the source of it. Was the infamous Trump tape in which the Republican candidate, well, yeah, it came from the Bushes, made lewd remarks about women leaked by Dan Sr., Paul Ryan's top advisor. That's the story swirling around the internet after Sr.'s wife, former NBC reporter Campbell Brown, appeared to confirm the claim. Brown quoted a tweet and said, rumblings that Campbell Brown and Dan Sr. Were behind the Trump tape leak, and then replied, yep, still having fun after all these years, key to a happy marriage. He himself later denied the claims. So there you go. Point is it's all a dirty trick, ladies and gentlemen. Continuing. But here's the most important part I'm getting to in just one moment. I even have friends and family that I know are smart on most occasions who just get into the mind control and they go, but the New York Times says Hillary's winning in early voting. And then you read the article and it's not even true. They just say it in the headline. I mean, they were the ones saying 94% chance of winning in our algorithm. Now it's 87. It's there to create the perception. I mean, CNN admits that they sample 46% Democrats to 22% Republicans in one. Another, was it 42 to like 27? I mean, they're basically double sampling Democrats and then saying Hillary wins by 15 points. Well, of course, if you've got basically double the Democrats in the sample, she's going to win. But if you actually do the math, what that poll tells you is Trump's 10, 15 points ahead. And that's why they're in abject, total panic mode. I read that email earlier by one of their top campaign advisors saying, we've kept the public in a trance. We've kept them in the dark. But they're starting to break out of it. And we've got to do something here. They know you're breaking out. People are seeing through the facade. Because it was Hillary's turn. And she's this half-living, obviously corrupt and evil person that represents the establishment. And they're so arrogant, they try to sell us something old. And people know the economy's in trouble. They know, and they say it's the greatest economy ever. That's what Obama said last year. That's a lie. They know all this. They know, and they're learning more. And the establishment's panicking. So what are they going to pull? Election fraud. And all they've got to do is convince you that it's not happening and have some scandal that, well, after the big scandal, you know, Hillary won. They're just convincing you to believe it now. I'm on the streets of Austin, Texas, which is like San Francisco of Texas in many areas. And almost every liberal I talk to is awake and really concerned and upset about what's happening and says, yeah, Hillary really freaks me out. She stole it from Bernie Sanders and now all this. Yeah, but Trump's racist. They'll actually say, but, you know, he did say all Mexicans are rapists. And he did never say that. It's crazy. And I'll pull the clip up and show them. They go, oh, I guess he didn't say that. They just don't want to vote for a racist because that's their identity, that they're not a racist. It's all mind control. So I'm going to get to that here in just a second. We are going to be ending a special today that is 23% off DNA Force. That ends tonight at midnight. It's our flagship product. Bio-PQQ, CoQ10. It's got a bunch of other compounds that help you absorb it. Look at what Bio-PQQ does. And this is the true life-based system. It's not synthetic. And it's amazing. It has 175 clinical studies and extremely hard to secure. It has the same amount, the Bio-PQQ serving in each pill, of 4 giant, I guess it's bushels. It calculates out to like 50 cartons of blueberries. Just do the math yourself. Research it. DNA Force, it supports the broadcast. Thank you for all your support. We have an amazing formula of antioxidant systems that are all fused in to DNA Force. We also have the Biome Defense probiotic. It's available at InfoWarsLife.com, and we have it in regular strength and extra strength. Again, that's Biome Defense, 25 billion live and active cultures, supports healthy flora, 23 probiotic strains, or the 50 billion live and active cultures, 23 different strains. And so one is half the price of the other for whoever's on a budget. But I tell you, gut flora is so key. InfoWarsLife.com or InfoWarsStore.com, or call toll-free, 888-253-3139. We can answer all your questions. We can tell you about different specials we have, 888-253-3139. Even if you want to order online, or have us help you walk through it online, you know, you can call. We have a great crew over there. They're really standing by until about 6 o'clock every night, and then it rolls over to a great answering service of operators we've had for 20 years that do a great job as well, but not as good as our folks there in-house, obviously. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. Biome Defense, probiotic, DNA Force, and a bunch of other products. You can sign up and get auto ship and get 10% off additionally on the type of things you want to reorder, whether it's vitamin mineral fusion, or whether it's super male or super female vitality, all of it funds this operation, 888-253-3139. And listen, we make mistakes. We jump the gun. We get things wrong, maybe 2% of the time, 3% of the time. Sometimes worse when we're doing 24-hour broadcasts or whatever. But we're trying to tell the truth. We have a good grasp of history. We have an amazing spectrum of guests, dedicated investigative journalists, and we're one of the main clearinghouses now of leaks and video and information that exposes the New World Order. And we're not just letting the globalists bring this stuff out and then demonize America to bring us down and bring in global government. We're exposing it's an outside force. We're partially guilty, all of us, for going along with it. But we're pointing out, though, that America has been swallowed and been captive and is being used as a power slave, basically, to take over the world. And I'm saying not in our name. So I want peace. I want justice. I don't want to fight with the Muslims. I want the radical Orthodox Wahhabis to be dealt with. Most Muslims don't want to live under the slavery. Most Muslims I know actually agree there should be a reformation. But I want to defend the unborn. I want to promote sovereignty. I want to promote private property. I just want prosperity and justice, just like you do. And we're coming together, and InfoWars is a major platform of that. So you're not just getting some of the best products out there at amazing prices. You are supporting the tip of the spear. That everybody says the tip of the spear, and I wish they were. We are. It's a very dangerous position. We need to be sharpened. We need to be supported. We need to be prayed for. And thank you. I know you're doing that. We have Providence. Also, the Hillary for President shirt in 27 days. I'm not going to sell it anymore. That's it. We have a limited edition Gadsden Lock Her Up shirt we're doing one run of. Made in America. Very high quality, very soft fabric. Feels so good. It's my favorite type of shirt to work out in. We have the Molon Labe shirts and so much more. InfoWarsStore.com or call toll free 888-253-3139. And your funding is what makes it all possible. All right, I've got the fraud on the poll side, then your calls straight ahead, then a bunch of special guests, and big surprises tomorrow in studio. Stay with us. I have not hit, but about 1/20th of the news. And I'm not kidding. I mean, it gets crazier from there on out. There are so many people confronting the Clintons. Hillary said she would be on the campaign trail for 20 days. She's now suddenly emerged. First time she emerges, a guy is in the stands behind her, takes off his shirt. He's a black American. And he's got the Hillary for Freudian slip, Hillary for President. He has the Bill Clinton rape shirt on. And then he walks down behind her, and they take him out because he's not doing a good job in the photo op. And man, I tell you, he gets $5,000 just for the courage of doing this, being in that proximity. And he didn't really get Hillary's a rapist out because they drug him away, but he definitely shook them up big time. And we're going to end up paying out, it looks like, the whole $100,000 on this. I'll get this gentleman on the show. Stop rape at Infowars.com. Send us your info. I'm going to get everybody on this show or the nightly news. It's amazing what we've been learning from these folks. And listen, the reason we're doing this is she has covered up for Bill Clinton's rapes. She has covered up for pedophiles. And Joy Behar of The View, she got up there yesterday and said that, well, these women are tramps. One of these women that was on the stage that she's talking about in the full clip was 12 years old and was almost beaten to death and was in a coma. I mean, other women had witnesses they were bleeding. And I mean, Bill Clinton's known for this. And I just cannot believe what Democratic Party operatives they were. When I went on Joy Behar's show on CNN, after I'd been on The View, that same morning, she said, come over to me on my show. She was so thinking I was a Democrat that, and I don't find her that attractive. She's an older lady, but I mean, the sex appeal in the room with her before we taped the show was just like, oh, wow. I mean, it was actually very alluring. Even though I didn't find her physically attractive, it was just pouring the female, oh, I really like what you're doing. It's so sexy. Oh, yeah, we're about to tape this. Oh, what are you doing later? I mean, it was like, and then I see her up there calling these women these names. I don't even dislike Joy Behar just because she was so inviting. Even though I disagree with her politics, she came off as so nice. And then she's so nasty to these women. It's just despicable. It makes me hate her. And the reason I tell that story is she was very, let's just say, had a lot of hospitality. And that's all that happened. But she was pouring it out at me. because she thought I hated the Bushes because I went on TV and talked about 9/11 being an inside job. That's the globalists. That's the Saudis. That's the criminal groups the Clintons are involved with as well. But that's just how party-driven they are, to give you an idea that I've been at dinners with like the biggest Hollywood people there were, all because I put out these films that were pro-gun, anti-New World Order, but because they talked bad about the globalists and the Bushes, they'd sit there at parties and watch them in Hollywood and pat me on the back just because I was attacking the Bushes. Obliquely. Again, why I'm saying this is not to name drop stories. These people are in a cult. If Donald Trump starts going sideways and doing a bunch of bad stuff, I'll come after him in 2 seconds. I mean, I'm not in some cult of Donald Trump or the Republican Party. I hate the Republican Party. The Republican Party establishment is totally after them. Here's a shorter clip as we're going to break of Behar yesterday. Very, very shameful. Here it is.
That's why when he brought up these allegations, I wonder if she missed the opportunity to address it in a way that the public would understand that that's just not how you behave.
Well, the big issue. I would like to apologize to those tramps that have slept with my husband. Maybe she could have said that.
So when we come back, we do have the audio of Hillary calling for an intervention and for them to stop the guy with the rape shirt. Obviously, I need to take a breath because the last hour was just incredible how much we covered. I've got a bunch of clips I want to get to, how they're planning to try to steal the election. We've got a clear vision now of what they're preparing the public mind for. And it's the preconditioning that's the tell on one of their major attack profile strategies. We've got Hillary should be indicted, but she can't be. Basically, she could probably, like I said, kill children on the White House lawn with a battle axe. And they would say she was giving blood to Mother Earth. Because she controls the Justice Department. And that's what comes out in the email. She's coordinating the Justice Department, telling them what to do, telling the State Department what to do. Even after she's out of office, she's running the whole show. She's got her people in there. And it's them paper play. Foreign governments, individuals, people getting $9 billion lawsuits shut down, giving her money. It's all in the new emails. They're up on Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.com. Incredible. I'm going to start your calls now, but I'm going to go back to this Joy Behar thing, calling the women that were there at the event tramps. I guess that includes the little lady that was raped when she was 12 and in a coma for what, 5 days? That Hillary represented? She represented the pedophile? And she sat there and said that you liked it. You wanted it, didn't you? I mean, there's no way I could be a defense attorney and represent pedophiles when you know they're guilty, which she later admitted. And she got the guy off. It was just on probation, but or light sentence. I'm going to go back to the history of it. But like giggling and laughing about it and sitting there and telling a little girl on the stand, you wanted it, didn't you? I mean, it's just like she hangs out with Abedin, whose mom's a creepazoid. And she's all creepy looking and acts creepy. Just a creepy weirdo with flies landing on her, and she ribbits and barks like a dog and stinks reportedly. The Secret Service says she smells like a sewer. Jason in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, how you doing, man?
Good, my friend.
Oh, man, I've been trying to get on there since the RNC, man. I can't believe how big the radio show is getting here lately. It's awesome.
Well, to be clear, the network that I'm on, that I use as a satellite carrier with the great John Harmon up there in Minnesota, just to be clear, since you brought this up, it has 6 phone lines. We have 15 phone lines. Potentially, it's digital. We got 23,000 phone calls the other night that came into the system. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, just real quick, I know a while back you was talking about the copyright of Make America Great Again. Bobby Bones is a radio show host out of Tennessee or out of Nashville. His producer put a $1,000 bet down on Trump winning the election last year when it was 50-1. And so if Trump wins, he's going to get $50,000. Well, Bobby Bones found out that Make America Great Again was not copyrighted. So he copyrighted it and held it for ransom to Donald Trump to get a donation to St. Jude. So if y'all want to check that out, that's the backstory of that. Then Hillary Clinton hates all of us, which we know, And her hate is nothing but just a summary of the hate of the people that are pulling the puppet strings. She's just doing what the bigger haters are doing. And that's why I got a plea for Mr. Trump. I've been wanting to talk to him if I could. Mr. Trump, I'm a 37-year-old husband of 15 years to an African-American woman. I'm a white male. We have 5 kids, not on assistance. I'm the only one that works, and it is a struggle. I've been watching Trump since I was 10 years old, and he's been a champion to me since I first met him through the WWE, watching him on TV.
Well, brother, that's awesome. God bless you. I got to jump, but thank you, Jason. I wanted to get into leaked emails, but we'll do that with some other callers. Very interesting, though. Thank you. More calls straight ahead on Alex Jones. Now, here's the huge news on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And it's out of Bloomberg. It's out of the Daily Caller. It's Associated Press. This is confirmed in the data dump. The latest by WikiLeaks. Just in, State Department is coordinating email release when the Clinton campaign had discussions with the DOJ. Again, that's Clinton with the DOJ and the State Department. An agency she's never been in, and another agency she formerly headed, getting directives from her. Totally illegal. And we've got the emails to the media and emails to comedians and all the rest of them. Now, remember Debbie Wasserman Schultz. And then you've got the new chair of the DNC. That's in the new emails that have come out. Remember, she cryptically said, I've taken over to finish the job we started. They don't even hide it. They say to the public, of course the DNC wasn't rigged for Hillary. Then they say, of course it's rigged. And then we have the emails out of the New York Observer breaking DNC chief Donna Brazile leaked Sanders info to Clinton campaign. Of course, they were all in there working against him. They stole the delegates. They created the superdelegates. They admitted it. Sanders was winning by 70, 80% in almost every state. It was ridiculous. He'd have 20,000 people. She'd have 100, 200. She's got a couple hundred now when she has events. There's more people on the stage behind her than there are in front of her. And now one of our listeners got up behind yesterday Hillary. She wasn't going to do any rallies, but she just showed up. Clinton suggests intervention for protester wearing Bill Clinton rape shirt. Now, for TV viewers, you can see this. Radio listeners, I'll describe it. First, we'll show the video shot on a cell phone of him right behind Hillary when he's taken up by the police. Then she says, we need to have a intervention out in the parking lot for this poor man. Because, see, there's no way he could be deplorable. I mean, he's a black man, and they belong to the party of the KKK. You're not getting off her plantation. So she says, after he's drug out by the police, and I thought the police are all evil, Hillary, but now you called on him to have him taken out. Imagine if we had a black man being taken out at a Trump rally for doing a disturbance. See, the media's like, what Jones is doing is so horrible doing this. You people at the DNC and George Soros sent folks in to be violent, it came out in the emails, and to blame Bernie Sanders. I'm not even doing a third of what you're doing. What I'm doing is legal and lawful. We're up to like $30,000 I got to pay out now. It's bittersweet. We don't have a big extra budget, but I knew that they were going to come out and say that Trump was a racist. We knew this a year ago. I knew that they were going to come out and say that he was a rapist, all these R words. I knew he was going to pull all this, so we've just been attacking this whole thing with the truth. And I tell you, it's perfect timing with all the Bill Clinton rape stuff coming out. Oh, CNN says it's a conspiracy theory that Bill Clinton ever sexually assaulted women. He settled cases. I've interviewed at least 4 women that say he raped them. I mean, these are women like in the governor's mansion, in the U.S. Capitol. I mean, he'll come in a cloakroom, lock the door, shove you up against the wall, and rape you. There it is, CNN panelists. Bill Clinton's sexual abusers are conspiracy theory, which the Clintons, again in their own emails, tell the media to say. Remember, it's a conspiracy theory that her email was even hacked. Remember just, what was it, 6, 7 months ago, one of our reporters asked her about her email and said it was reportedly hacked, our source said. And she said, oh, no, it was never hacked, when she knew it was hacked. Notice it's all come out. She was hacked. It came out in July. Oh, something else we told you about, something else we had sources on that were correct. And we were told by a federal source on the road, look to hear that her email's been hacked. Look for that. Look for ramps on a black ambulance. Look for her falling down. Look for her in a medical tent. We went, we looked, we found. You found. You looked, you found. Just questioning these liars. And we have in the emails their high-level campaign staff meeting saying the public is waking up. The public, what's the exact words? I covered it like a bunch in the last hour. I'm going to give you the exact words. It's up on Infowars.com. How they want to keep us in a sleeping state. All right, let's start getting to some clips, then right back to your phone calls. There's so many of these. Let's play Hillary on the intervention.
So, you know, I do hope somebody follows that gentleman out and stages an intervention. He clearly has not been following this election very closely.
Okay, so there are info warriors taking action, getting the info out. It's so funny. Bill Clinton's a rapist. Ha, ha, ha. Let's have an intervention. Not for the rapists, not for all your crimes, not for you funding jihadis, but for him. Now, let's go ahead. Big confidence game. She's up there smiling, you know. Notice in the debate she had to sit down most of the time. Since I mentioned it, here it is. CNN panelist, Bill Clinton's sexual abusers are conspiracy theorists, and that ties into this huge new bombshell. New York City Democratic Election Commissioner. This isn't a commission member. This is the commissioner at a Democratic Party gala bragging about how they bus people around and have them vote at each polling place. What did Larry Nichols, who used to do this in Arkansas for the Clintons, say they do? They love a bunch of homeless people. They feed them the names of dead people or folks they know aren't voting. They walk them into Democrat-controlled precincts, and they vote over and over again, generally 10 times in a day. Takes 15, 20 minutes to vote, then they drive you another place, they feed you meals, and they give you $50 to $100. Sometimes they give people liquor. Remember what happened with Veritas, Project Veritas, that got this as well, James O'Keefe? When they walk into Akron and go, I'm running child sex slaves. How do I do that? Oh, well, just make sure you pay your taxes and you can run that sex slave. Let us help you set that up right now. And he went into facility after facility. This is what we're dealing with. Are people that are just, it's just lawlessness. And it's just out in the open. And this guy is just talking about it like it's no big deal. This is the head of it. But first, Bill Clinton's sexual abusers are conspiracy theorists. CNN, here it is.
So, Jackie, the irony is that with Bill Clinton, you have him never acknowledging any of those allegations. You had Donald Trump, in his own words, admitting that he had done the kinds of things he's accusing Clinton of. Does that work with anybody outside the people who will never vote for anyone but Trump?
No. Bill Clinton is not on the ballot. Hillary Clinton is on the ballot. A lot of the things Trump says about the 90s, about Bill Clinton, comes straight out of conspiracy theory land. Things that are in Ed Klein's book, things that Roger Stone says. So no, I don't think it matters.
She was co-president. That's admitted. Now she's going to be back in. They vacation with the Bushes. She is the bimbo eruption expert that went out and suppressed the women, just like Behar's bullying them, calling them tramps. You guys are shameful. Trump, in an edited tape, shot his mouth off about how women were throwing themselves on him. He could do whatever he wanted. He wasn't saying, I'm going out and assaulting women. He said, they throw themselves on you. You can just do that, and they don't even care. You know, and it's untasteful. I don't like it. But we're dealing with the Clintons here, who absolutely hate him, and the whole world government, for a good reason. Now, let's start playing part of this Project Veritas piece. The full thing's on Infowars.com. We'll go out to break here in a minute and a half. New York City Democratic Election Commissioner Alan Scuckelin, how do you pronounce that? Is caught on camera at the United Federation of Teachers holiday party admitting there is widespread voter fraud in New York City. Here it is.
I think there's a lot of voter fraud. Right. Like I say,
Skulkin?
Oh, like minority neighborhoods, like black neighborhoods and Hispanic neighborhoods.
And Chinese too.
Oh. Why do they do that? Just to get like more votes for Democrats or?
Almost themselves. They're all running for office.
They do it for themselves, running for office. Oh, the candidates, yeah.
For the assembly.
And they use minorities like they own them.
They get buses, they move people around.
But New York doesn't have voter ID laws, right? New York?
No, you cannot ask.
They what?
They can't ask for voter ID.
Why is that? They can't.
The law. The law says you can't ask somebody.
They're getting rid of ID so they can steal the election.
You know, I don't think it's too much to ask somebody to show some kind of an ID.
See, I don't even think this guy is probably... Pause, we're going to break. So, it's a conspiracy theory, huh, that there's election fraud. It doesn't exist, but now they've got to federalize the elections to stop the Russians and Alex Jones and Trump stealing it. Well, Mr. Skorkin, who is the election commissioner in New York, I'm not saying he's involved in fraud. I'm saying the Democrats he's talking about are, and he's admitting he thinks you should have to have an ID and there's total fraud going on, but that he doesn't want to say it on camera. Well, you got caught on camera. And he goes into the fact that it's just over the top. Elections officials caught on video blasting de Blasio's ID program. Well, just admitting there's total election fraud, total voter fraud. Now, you can say, well, retail fraud is individuals, but this is election fraud when you organize people in mass to engage in fraud. That is election fraud, not voter fraud. Voter fraud is one person. Election fraud is electronic or organized individuals with lists, so that's electronic too, of dead people or folks you know have not been voting in a while, but you vote in their stead and they don't know they're out voting for you. And it's happening all over the battleground states. Now, we're about to break some really, really big news here. I tell you, a lot of times with big news, I will choose to let another outlet put it out just because if I think they have more credibility on the subject, I will let them put it out. I've been sitting on this for a week and waiting for other folks, and it was going to be put out through somebody else, and then I was told it's being put out through someone else now, so we've been asked to go ahead and put it out. We're going to put it out at the start of the next segment. The article's going up on Infowars.com in the next minute, so you'll need to hit refresh. Then we're going to add some background to the story, but we're going to go ahead and put it out right now, and that is the untold story of Danny Williams, banished, who was told his whole life that Bill Clinton was his father. Bill Clinton sent $700 a month to him, sent him presents, until Hillary showed up at the house and told the mother, I'll have you put in prison if you don't stop doing this. And so this is the untold story of Danny Williams coming up a little bit later in this hour, but the video will be posted in the next minute or two to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. We'll tweet it out at Real Alex Jones, and you will also want to obviously share this with others because they're going to try to probably take it down. In fact, it just went live. It went live so fast. I was told during the last break that, oh, that's the one from a few days ago, yes. Hillary Clinton had Bill's mixed race son banished. African-American voters will go to Trump in droves after Clinton is exposed. I have another former chef of the Clintons who heard her calling black people the N-word. And again, I've only heard the N-word out of Democrats behind closed doors. It's like something they do. It's really weird. They'll say, hey, want some of these? And you learn stuff from them. I didn't know you called these nuts N-word toes. Or you'll argue with some Democrat and they'll go, don't you talk to me like a... I mean, this has happened to me over and over again. Black Democrats, white Democrats, it's like, whoa. But I guess that's where the KKK came from. I just... Everything is so upside down. I don't even know what to think anymore. I grew up so blind to the racism stuff because it just wasn't going on in my family. I mean, that's another reason I'm so annoyed by it, by racist black people and others, and Hispanics that say I'm bad because I'm white. It's just a mess. It's a total mess. Your calls are coming up. I'll get to all of this, but the Danny Williams is going up here in just the next few minutes to Infowars.com. His statement on his father wanting to get to know Bill Clinton, wanting to have a DNA test. We're going to push some other things today as well, and big surprises tomorrow and the next day. So just look for that here at Infowars.com and the syndicated radio broadcast. But let's go out to break with the head of elections, the head of commissioner in New York City, talking to Project Veritas. The full clip's on Infowars.com. Here it is.
You know, I don't think it's too much to ask somebody to show some kind of an ID.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I mean, you have to show an ID for everything else.
Right, you go into a building, you got to show them your ID.
Yeah. listen to you. I mean,
Well, that's because the New York State Legislature makes the laws. I don't make the laws.
and you're saying there's a lot of absentee ballot fraud, too.
Oh, there's thousands of absentee ballots. I don't know where they came from.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, Hillary Clinton doesn't support voter ID laws. Like,
I know. That's why I'm not always crazy about everything the Democrats do either.
All right, let's stop right there.
Blasio.
That's where I was going next after calls. Think about this. Look at the article at Infowars.com. Poll that claims Hillary 11-point ahead, run by Clinton ally, paid off by her super PAC. But that's nothing. Look at this little sweetie pie. New York Times. Early voting could hand election to Hillary Clinton well before November 8th. This does two things. It makes you think there's no hope because he's now going to lose Florida with no evidence. They say preliminary info shows she's a little bit ahead. Yeah, all the absentee voting, all the dead people voting, the buses driving around. So it creates a perception he's losing and then gets you ready for the theft while in New York, Florida, and other areas, all these absentee ballots just show up with all these names on them, magically stuffed by the Democratic Party machine that's famous for this. So how do we fight back against the theft of our republic in front of us in broad daylight? Stay with us. The Danny Williams info coming up. Alex Jones here in studio. We're halfway into this worldwide broadcast. Your calls are coming up. We have guests joining us as well a little bit later in the next hour. Owen Schroyer, Infowars.com reporter, who just got back from the debates the other night with incredible triggering of leftists and the fact that they have no common sense and were basically unable to defend their positions, except a few of them had to admit that they know Hillary Clinton covered up for Bill and is a predator and a criminal. It's just that Trump's a racist because he said all Mexicans are rapists. Isn't that interesting when he said a lot of criminals and rapists and robbers are coming over, just like criminals from the U.S. run to Mexico? He never said that, but this is how they operate. This is what they do. So we're going to be breaking all of that down coming up. But first, top story on DrudgeReport.com, Clinton's son speaks. And we're writing a larger article around this right now. We have been working with folks closely associated with Mr. Williams, and we're going to hold off until tomorrow with this. But there's a lot of things obviously going on and things afoot. And so we were told, drop the hammer now. So this was 10 minutes ago, talking to Williams and others. I'm just going to let you know that. And so, boom, this is his testimony, first ever seen. And it brings tears to my eyes because, listen, when I go see a movie like Kill the Messenger about Gary Webb, who won all those big awards for exposing CIA drug dealing, who's been exonerated, it was nauseating because I knew him well. He was going to come on the show and break his new book. I was talking to him weeks before he died. I know they killed him. They shot him twice in the head. And the media said it was a suicide. So, I mean, I've lived this, and I've lived 20 years ago having guests on about Danny Williams and the state police delivering $700 a month and Bill Clinton having Christmas presents delivered and Hillary coming and saying when he was a teenager, you can't talk to Bill or get money anymore. I'll have you thrown in prison. So they've been speaking out since then. And it fits into all the other abused women and the rest of it. So I believe Mr. Williams' story. He looks like Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton is known to have a penchant for ladies across the board. And it fits into the entire paradigm. And so this is important. Now, they famously, in a newspaper, Alabama, the Democratic Party, claimed that they had supplied a DNA test in the mid-90s. They did not do that. Then they said, oh, here's a test, but then it wasn't a DNA test. It was just completely made up. So we're about to premiere this 9-minute video where his reported son, alleged son, Danny Williams, is trying to reconnect with his father, Bill Clinton. Banished, the untold story of Danny Williams' search for his father. He's a father himself, hardworking man with a good record. And Black Lives Matter unless you're Bill Clinton's illegitimate black son. And this goes back to criticisms of, Thomas Jefferson not making, the kids he had with black ladies, his kids. So I guess he is William Jefferson Clinton, but not in a good way. There was the good part of Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, not the good part of William Jefferson. But Owen Schroyer is here with us. Just a quick snapshot of this and your view of this about to break, and then we're about to premiere this for everybody. Again, it's powerful. What do you think?
Well, I think we can see really the fear in Bill Clinton right now. I mean, he's acting very neurotic. He's acting like he's really freaked out about all this.
Oh, yeah, let's put the creepy rape stare shot from the other night up there.
Yeah, you've got that. You've got how he acts during his speeches. You've got even things that he's saying when he talks about Obamacare, about Hillary Clinton. It regularly happens where she faints. Oh, wait, no, it's not a regular thing. We had that weird email he sent out where there's an acronym, a secret message on the side that says stop her. So it's very strange what's going on with Bill Clinton. And this is kind of an approach that I take to all of this, Alex, that I don't understand why we wouldn't be seeing more of this. I mean, this is huge. If someone's accusing me of having an illegitimate son that's false, guess what? I'm going to do everything I can to put that to rest immediately. I'll go do a DNA test right now. I'll meet with you right now. Let's clear the air on this right now. Complete silence from the Clinton campaign. Nothing from Bill Clinton on this. And I think that Donald Trump should bring Danny Williams to the next debate as his special guest if Clinton does not address this before then.
Absolutely. Trying to go over the 1,000+ emails, and WikiLeaks is now actually releasing stuff that will get her indicted if there's any justice, where they are saying, he's given us $1 million. We've got to shut down this $9 billion lawsuit. And then, okay, well, Chelsea's mad saying this is illegal. And it's Chelsea in here going, this is illegal. I don't want to do this. And they're like, shut up, brat. I mean, the other Democratic Party operatives, it's all there. And then high-level Democratic Party meetings where they're saying the public's starting to wake up. We got to keep them in the dark. I mean, this is powerful stuff.
Yeah, and this Danny Williams thing is so powerful because it puts to rest, or I guess it even sheds a light on, all the double standards coming from the left, specifically Hillary Clinton supporters or Black Lives Matter. You know, Hillary Clinton, again, it's like she said multiple times, any woman who says that they've been sexually abused need to be heard. She ignores all of them.
And then Joy Behar, getting the same talking points, calls them tramps, including a girl that was 12 years old, raped into a coma. And Hillary Clinton represented the guy knowing he was guilty and then told the little girl she was a liar and liked it. Now, we're going to go to this piece. It's up on Infowars.com. If you're a radio listener, you're going to hear the audio of Danny Williams. If you're a TV viewer at Infowars.com/show, and cable and UHF VF stations that are picking us up, you can see it. But the video is at Infowars.com. It went live just a little while ago on Danny Williams' new channel. And we're about to premiere it here. It's on Infowars.com. That's where it was first posted. And you can go see it, share it, get it out to folks, copy it to your channel, whatever. The point is we need to spread this. We need to put this on Facebook right now as well. So spread this to the four winds. It's the top link at drudgereport.com. That's the easiest place to find it. And share it. We're going to play this in its entirety, come back, comment on it, then go right to your calls. I know you've been holding, but we had to preempt you, obviously, callers, for something this big happening today. And just to be clear, we got a lot of background info we're about to publish as well. Talking to folks, I was told this was coming out today or tomorrow because I'm talking to these folks, but I'm obviously not in the mechanics of it all. And they said, no, now's the time, go ahead. So that's why we are putting this out there. I didn't want to scoop anybody. We were just told that we've been decided, that of all the media and the Daily Mail and everybody else, WorldNet Daily, that they wanted to give it to us. So we're doing it. And so we're just following his wishes. So Mr. Williams wanted us to put it out. We're putting it out right now. Here it is, premiered at Infowars.com and DrudgeReport.com. Here it is. Vanished is the name. The untold story of Danny Williams.
I have no doubt that I am Bill Clinton's son. It was common knowledge. Everyone in Arkansas knew. Everywhere I went, they pointed, "That's Bill Clinton's son right there. He looked like him, don't he?" The ears, the mouth, the chin, the teeth, the eyes, the nose. I see him in me. You can see a black Bill Clinton. When I brush my hair, I can see Bill Clinton with waves in his head. I always felt bad about him not wanting to be in my life. Was it because I was black? Was it something wrong with me? Why he don't want to be a part of me? It made me think of even sometimes suicide. It's not fair, and it has been hurtful. He still refused to acknowledge me. Well, time was very hard, and my mom was a working girl on the streets. She was heavy on drugs.
My name is Lucy Bolton. My sister following him when he was standing when he was smoking. She was a prostitute and she, hung around on the streets on 75th and Main. She met him on the streets.
I was told that she was with him on 13 occasions.
Don't know about 5 or 6 months after, they had dated and everything. Because she was pregnant.
My mom went to prison and lost custody of us. My Aunt Lucille stepped up and gained guardianship of us. She raised us in Little Rock, Arkansas. At the time, we was from group home to house. My Aunt Lucille wanted to have a father in my life. As a small child, she took me to the governor mansion.
There was a car coming at the front gate, right? When the gate swings open, I ran up in there and ran behind the gate, okay?
She was trying to get him to accept me and notice me.
When I got to the door, I asked for her, and the door was slammed in my face.
Slammed the door in her face. This is Bill's son. He had the black son out here.
These little guys came to my side of the place.
Hillary, she had guys chase him off the property.
And I went to run and jump the fence. Get the hell out of there.
I read history. Basically goes back to slave owners. When they have a child with one of their slaves and the wives try to have them banished off the plantation. What century is this? It just wasn't right.
Every child in this state is somebody because we're going to give them every chance we can.
And honestly, we were needing child support at the time. My mom was in prison.
We was poor, okay? We had nothing. Who gonna listen to us, really?
My Aunt Lucille was working at a gas station.
We have no money to pay lawyers. They just shut us up.
My mom told me on a few occasions when she was threatened.
She had told leave them alone because we're gonna come up missing.
She was also pushed out a 2-story window where she got a metal plate in her foot. To this day, she still feels scared of speaking.
And they was trying to get information about Bobby Williams' story so they can give her, I guess some hush money.
In fact, my mother did receive 7 $100 bills a month in the mailbox. Even presents on Christmas that was delivered to my home by state troopers. So I felt he was trying to be a part of my life. And then when he became president, everything stopped. In 1995, when my father was president of the United States, the state of Arkansas put us in foster care. I lived in foster homes. It made me feel horrible because I know his child, Chelsea, was well taken care of, and we was house to house, hungry at nights. And to know that my father was the president, it hurts. Try to imagine that your own father refused to love you, refused to say that you exist. Knowing who my father was and that he was so close yet so far away made my pain unbearable. Growing up in Little Rock School District system, it was difficulties because you got gang members, drug activities at the schools. And I wanted more to life. I didn't want to end up dead in the streets for nothing. Moving from home to home, not having a stable place to go. It came to a point in high school where I had to drop out to take care of my little sisters and brothers and make sure they were stable and able to go to school every day. I got a job full-time at a donut shop my 11th grade year to support my sisters and brothers. If I had the love and support of my father that stayed on me, made sure I had the best education, I feel I would have had a better life. In 1999, they tried to sweep me under the rug with Bill Clinton's friend publishing this phony DNA test. It never was a DNA test.
Roger Altman. Roger is a longtime friend of mine.
Just think about it. It was published in a tabloid owned by a donor of Bill Clinton. Even to this day, Megyn Kelly, Howard Kirk, they continue to quote this bogus DNA test, and it really hurts. I would love to see the DNA test done. Several times, I tried to reach out to the Clintons. People say all the time, you're going to get yourself killed dealing with the Clintons. I wrote letters to his library. I wrote letters to addresses I got off the internet, even emailed him from Facebook on his Facebook pages. I never got any response back. Once in Little Rock, Arkansas, I visited the Clinton Library. I wanted to see how it felt to be his president, and he was speaking. But by the time we made it there, he was already gone. We took a tour through the library, and just to see all the things he'd done in the world, helping other kids in Haiti and, you know, all the other places, it just saddened me because I never received any help from him. Hillary started running for president. She visited Little Rock at one of her campaign stops. I put myself right in front of the podium where she spoke. She was looking right at me. Eye contact. In my heart, I was thinking she knew who I was.
I met with a small group of the Black Lives Matter activists.
It made me wonder if she's saying Black Lives Matter, why I don't matter to her.
And I just felt for them.
I was going to introduce myself as Danny Williams, her husband's son and her stepson.
You know, I am a new grandmother, in case you haven't heard.
I had millions of questions to ask, you know, why?
We're going to do everything we can to make sure she has every opportunity.
As soon as she spoke, she got out of there. I didn't get to talk to my stepmom. I could never imagine having a child and not acknowledge him. As I know how it feels to not have a parent in your life. I work construction. I am a person of faith. I take my kids to church every Sunday. I teach my sons how to keep bad language out your mouth, how to speak properly with yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Recently, I've been telling my kids that their grandfather was the president of the United States. And they amazed by it. They're like, no, you know, is it for real? And I tell them, yes, you know, that is my father. And I'm gonna make sure you get to meet him one day. Hillary, please do not deny I exist. I am your stepson. Chelsea is my sister. And Bill is my father.
Super predators. We have to bring them to heel.
I felt bad when Hillary called black people super predators and that we need to be brought to heel. I'm black, I'm real, I am her stepson, and I deserve the love that she has given Chelsea. We hear my stepmother tells the nation every day, we're stronger together. They know who I am, and I know who I am. I have to meet my father. I have to know that he's willing to even accept me. I have to know that he, you know, like any child, I want to know my dad and I want him to know me. I'm his only son in the world, and he's my only dad. We have to come together. We have to. If Black lives truly matter to you, please contact me.
At Danny_Williams. And we're going to put his Facebook up, obviously, that broke a few weeks ago as he went public there. We're going to link that in the article that's up on DrudgeReport.com. We're going to add that to there. I am the son of Bill Clinton. It's up on Infowars.com. It's the top story on DrudgeReport.com. Clinton's son, in quotes, speaks. And I've talked to, on record and off record, to the state police. People, by the way, have been killed for snooping around about this story and others, just so you know. So Mr. Williams, I think, is in danger. I think everybody is. These are very dangerous people. I came, I saw, he died, and so did hundreds of thousands of people in North Africa. You know, that's Hillary for you. And Joy Behar, you know, and The View were calling the rape victims and people tramps for daring to go to the debate. And at the end of the clips that we have up on Infowars.com from The View a few days ago, yesterday morning, they put a cherry on top and say, it doesn't matter. You know, Hillary would never have been with Bill if she knew about all this. She was in charge of it. She chose him because he was flawed and she could control him. She's always been the boss. She has him under control. That's why she didn't defend him the other night. And people couldn't believe it because it's all true. So we're going to play a short clip here of Joy Behar, just to give you an idea of how they attack the victims and what they do. Here it is.
That's why when he brought up these allegations, I wonder if she missed the opportunity to address it in a way that the public would understand that that's just not how you behave.
Well, see, the big issue, I would like to apologize to those tramps that have slept with my husbands. Maybe she could have said that.
Wait,
And then the New York Times calls Donald Trump saying, women throw themselves at me. I'm such a big star. That's how narcissistic and arrogant. I don't like it. And Trump said he's grown a lot the last 11 years. But whatever. He's not selling missile seekers to the communist Chinese and putting jihadis in to kill 200,000 Christians and sell 5-year-olds into sex slavery. They're not making failed states everywhere. They're not sleeping in the same room with a daughter of the woman that runs basically the feminine side of the caliphate. I mean, you cannot make this up. And all the new emails about keeping us in the dark, creating race war, creating division. Owen Schroyer's riding a shotgun. I'm going to come back and take some of your calls. I had some big guests today, veterans that are here with a movie coming out about battles that happen and stuff. But I've got to move them to the 4th hour if they can do it. Or they're also being interviewed by Joe Biggs, but that's got to be preempted and invite them back because just too much is breaking. This was supposed to break tomorrow. And again, I'm not even in the soup. I was just told they wanted me to have one of the exclusives because Danny likes the show and has been in contact with Joe Biggs, actually. He likes Joe Biggs' work and my work. And so and I just am kind of a hands-off guy. If something falls in our lap, it does. I've known about the story 20 years, since he was like 10 years old. Williams knows that. And so look for more exclusives tomorrow. I'm just going to leave it at that for you. And what's more exclusive than a video of Danny Williams? Everybody can maybe do some math and what 2 + 2 equals. But briefly, this is an expensive operation to run. We just sent Owen up there with a crew to cover the big debates and got huge coverage, really important intel back to you and your family. We're your probe droids. We're out there around the world, around the country, ferreting, working, running around like madmen. Are we attacking Trump? And so, a lot of folks say that Hillary works like a demon. Bill says that. Well, we work like like dynamos around here. And I'm so proud of the crew and the work they're doing and you, the listeners, that help us and support us with the info and more. So briefly, I'm going to throw this out to folks. We need your support. And we're ending a big special today. It's 23% off on our flagship product, DNA Force. Cleans out the cells, the mitochondria. You can actually say that. There's 175 studies just on BioPQQ. It's an amazing formula. If it looks like it's expensive, leading competitors are $400, $500, 4 or 5 times this. Because just what's in a bottle costs us $40 to $50 just for one of the ingredients. So our products usually have 60, 70, 80, 100% markup. That helps fund us. The average industry has a 3, 4, 5, or even 6 or 7 markup. So no one can get something like this because it'd be $600. We don't do that. Only place they sell things similar are at medical clinics. They're not prescription, but people won't spend that money unless it's a doctor. Only place you get the next level nutraceuticals is at a doctor's office. We've decided to just go after the high-end clinics, offer stuff even better at 1/3 or 1/5 or 1/6 the price. InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. We can answer all your questions, take your order. Our new Biome Defense, amazing probiotics out, 2 different formulations. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. We'll be right back with hour number 3, straight ahead with the Danny Williams October surprise breaking here. Stay with us. All right, Owen Schroyer is riding shotgun with me. I had a couple great veteran patriots coming in today. They're also going to be on the Nightly News with Biggs tonight. They may be in the 4th hour if they choose, but I got to preempt things right now because they'll understand how that happens. Operations get moved forward, they get moved backward. The whole Danny Williams thing has been percolating here for years. We've had Danny contacting myself, contacting Biggs. He works 2 jobs. He's got several kids. He's been with the same lady for the whole time. Church guy, whole 9 yards. Just a really credible person. And I've been covering his story since he was 10 years old. And I've seen the Clintons put out a fake DNA test. They got caught it was fake. That's in the article. This is amazing. And they were having a whole bunch of other media hammer them to let us put it out first. Let us put it out first. I sat back and I said, fine, let them put it out first. I don't care. That's fine. And then for some reason at the end, they said, no, we want you to put it out first. And I don't want to obsess over that. I can just tell a lot of folks out there get really pissed because this is like one of the big October surprises. And I don't know. I'm chomping at the bit once I'm on air, but when it comes to stuff and hosts and people and breaking news, I kind of get, just ice water in my veins. And that's how we continue to get the big stories. All I care about is getting justice for this young man. I believe he's Bill Clinton's illegitimate son. Clinton was known for banging every hooker in Little Rock, every hooker in Hot Springs. His real mother wasn't a nurse. She was a prostitute. He's probably a Rockefeller son. That's why the Kennedy visited with him. The Rockefellers helped him, why he cries. There's only 2 people believed I could be president when I was 16 years old, and that was my mama and David Rockefeller. We can find out David. The Rockefellers helped me. Thank you, David. You can find that tape. Bill Clinton thanks David Rockefeller. And it's not. And of course, it was Governor Rockefeller that's his dad. It's just that Rockefeller took him under his wing. That's not the first time these big, powerful robber barons have a bunch of illegitimate kids they put in positions of power. That's what you're supposed to do. Danny Williams got just thrown to the curb, but there's a lot of chief executives out there and powerful men that their right-hand guy when they're 75 is their 40-year-old son from a mistress. And it's a really trashy thing to throw your kid under the bus like that. What do you think?
Well, I think, again, it's amazing that he just completely ignores it. That's the thing. I don't know why you wouldn't want to clear the record on this. And I think the reason why you say, oh, you know, I don't need to break this story. Maybe we can break it. Maybe it doesn't matter to you. But you already broke the story, Alex. You broke the story 10 years ago. You broke the story 20 years ago. It's the same thing with all of these email leaks that we're getting from WikiLeaks. Like, okay, this is great. Like, I mean, obviously, like, I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the proof. I mean, we got them. We caught them red-handed. But we've been saying this for years. There's nothing in these emails that we didn't already report on. There's nothing in these emails that we didn't already try to tell you. So
it does confirm everything we've said and what Drudge has said and what WorldNet Daily said. And look at this. Diller, the big Democrat, Trump presidential run is an evil miracle. I've got a dark heart. We're evil. We're an evil miracle. No, that's who they are. I mean, did you see these emails where they're discussing we got to keep the public in the dark? They're starting to wake up.
And Alex, what is their response? I have it in the video at WashU at the debate. What is their response? I don't care. Literally, they don't care. They don't care that their candidate has been caught talking bad about them. They don't care that their candidate got caught rigging the election. They don't care that their candidate gets away with breaking the law. I heard the audio of Trump saying, I hate the American people. I'm done. But no, the truth is, a lot of people that know him a long time, he gets really sentimental and weird around the American people and poor people and really wants to, like, build prosperity. Well, I don't know if you happened to see any of his rally at Wilkes, Pennsylvania yesterday. Amazing. Amazing. I would say this to people, if you're on the fence, even if you don't like Donald Trump, if you watch that rally, it shows that this is not about Donald Trump. This truly is a movement. And by the way, he has humbled. What we've been waiting for. I'm going to be honest. 10 years ago, I saw some of his shows. I thought he was an arrogant narcissist, probably a liberal. I don't like golden airplanes and all this stuff. I mean, I don't mind his hot wife or whatever. The point is, that's not my style, okay? And I'm pretty conservative. But the guy I've seen the last few years and stuff he did even 20 years ago in Afton Gat, there was a battle of two Trumps, and he's really transformed and is touched by all this and understands he's in history and has become much more humble under the attack. And, folks, he's gone through hell, too. Don't forget that. We'll be right back. Thulsa Doom and his mountain of power. Is there a dagger such as this for me? It's a good movie. You know who wrote it? Oliver Stone. Now, the next one was super cheesy and horrible and unwatchable. Conan the Destroyer. Conan the Barbarian is a real classic. Shot in Spain, amazing. Can't watch the movie enough. You understand that? So I need to. Is that my assignment? Yeah. If you don't, I may have to fire you. You don't like that movie? You hear that, Rob? Do I got to go home right after this, and I got to go watch Conan the Barbarian. Have ladies in bikinis while you watch it. The day of doom is here. The day of doom is here, Alex, and I'm hoping that it's the day of doom for the Clinton crime syndicate. That's what I'm hoping. Not for us. For Thulsa Doom and his mountain of power. Mm-hmm. Not for... Pretty good Max von Sydow imitation. Not for Drudge and InfoWars. Do you know who Max von Sydow is? You're getting in more trouble by the minute. Oh, boy. All right, no, I'm being serious. I got a little excited about fighting the New World Order. I want to go to phone calls. You've been incredible champs. Quincy and Scott and Matt and Sherry. Probably just as big as this, though, is the fact that we have the New York Commissioner of Elections caught at a Christmas party 10 months ago, 11 months ago, saying, I don't like it. The Democrats bus around the candidates, these buses, the poor people, to all the different polling places and have them vote over and over again with dead people and folks' names. We'll say it on camera. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Meanwhile, they don't want us to have, any voter ID. And listen, I'm anti-police state, but we've lost that battle, showing IDs here, there. If I got to show up for everything, including wiping my rear end, you should have to show it you're a citizen and that you're in the right spot, vote in the right place. You would think that'd be, how it keeps. Well, there's a whole phenomenon where folks go to vote and they can't. We've already voted. Well, like that happened to me like 10 years ago. I didn't realize what was happening. What was happening is someone had voted in my name. Isn't that this is the perfect illustration of how these people think? It's like, oh, there's no conspiracies. Oh, there's no rigged elections. We don't need voter IDs. It's not a problem. Just go vote. Just say you're Eminem. Say you're Marshall Mathers. I'm going to go vote. I'll say that's right. People went and voted. Veritas Illustrated. They went and voted as Eminem. Yeah. So why do you need an ID to vote? Stole Eminem's, in his district, stole his identity. There's no voter fraud. What's a rigged election?
By the way, the feds were talking about charges on him for that. They want to leave it open so it can be stolen. The investigator that exposes it, they want to charge you.
Everything is awesome.
When you're part of the team. You know, we have that audio. Can we play that at the bottom of the hour? I'm going to sing along to the Lego song.
I mean, it's sadly illustrative, though, of how these...
You know, that is the average Democratic voter. They literally... Say what you want about, I mean, Republican voters, they got some problems. But, man, the Democratic voter is like that Lego character in there.
Well, and it's crazy because now...
Oh, Hillary just blew up whole countries. It's awesome. She's so liberal.
And all of these Republicans now, it's like you're either for Trump or you're against Trump. Paul Ryan, he can't decide. He wants to dip his toes in the water.
Paul Ryan is a globalist operative.
But what you're seeing is Donald Trump and whoever is supporting him, in this case, we're going beyond the Republican Party.
Well, notice they're panicking, calling him the evil miracle, because they know in real polls he's 10 points ahead, baby.
It's not even close. And
it's like 15, though. This is him about 5 points.
Listen to this, though, Alex. So we've obviously documented the rallies and who's dominating at the rallies. I think if you added up the attendance at the rallies, Trump might win by hundreds of thousands of people. If you go on the internet, YouTube, whatever, Hillary videos don't get half the views. Most of it's dislikes. You'll never find a video with more dislikes.
No, it'll be 10,000 dislikes, 25 likes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Only on a Hillary video.
But our videos are like 20,000 likes, 200 dislikes.
Same with the Trump rally video. Trump rallies videos gets almost 100,000.
And conservatives generally are not seen as being as tech active, so it's even worse.
And now what I'm seeing, and this is not something that I saw up until, honestly, just the last couple of weeks, I like to typically monitor C-SPAN because it's a good place to actually see what people in the government are saying and see what other people who are calling in think, too. It is now not even close. It used to be about 50-50 with pro-Trump, anti-Trump. It's 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Every morning you listen to C-SPAN, people calling in saying they want Donald Trump. We cannot let them steal this election from us.
Hillary has an average of about 100 people, Trump about 20,000. And they usually turn away tens of thousands. I mean, in Austin, there were traffic jams 2.5, 3 miles away.
Couldn't even get in.
They got 20,000 in, turned away 20,000.
Yeah, the video, I mean, the St. Louis rally where we found Aid Skrillex in that video. I wanted to go to the Trump rally inside that day. I got there 2 hours early. I didn't even bother getting in line because the line was 2 miles long. It would have been pointless.
By the way, this is like discovering the wheel or fire or combustion engine. You and Rob Dew discovered Aid Skrillex.
Well, it was actually Josh Owens.
Oh, Josh Owens. I get it all mixed up.
But yeah,
so Josh Owens. So you guys like deserve, like at the end of episode 4 Star Wars, everybody salutes you and you get like golden amulets. Everybody salutes you. Dun, dun.
You know what? I don't want that, but actually, I've thought we should do. We should actually have an alternative news.
I already have offered 10,000 each of those guys to the Ultimate Social Justice Warriors to come on, and I know we discovered where they live. We should go there.
Well, we won't get too into
lovingly
that.
We love bringing flowers.
We won't
gold,
get too into that.
Frankincense, myrrh.
I will say though, you know what? You've made a great crew here. Everybody I work with has been great. But me and Josh, when we go out for whatever reason, we find
you guys came back.
Gold.
Oh, you guys have it already.
We found the gold.
See, I don't pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, it's not that I'm micromanaging or not caring. It's that I literally just let you guys fire torpedoes. No. I didn't realize we just revealed. Oh my God.
No. Well,
hold on. I knew you were. Oh my God.
There's nothing we can reveal right now.
Oh my
but there is.
Oh my gosh. I forgot you guys were kind of visiting when you were there. See.
Do you want me to talk about it? Do you want me to tell you what happened? He doesn't even know about this, folks. He doesn't even know about this. I would be telling...
I'm too busy dealing with the October surprise.
Well, okay, so here's what happened.
No. Do you have footage of this?
We've got some footage, but it's nothing that we want to show yet. It's nothing we can show yet.
You know what?
I mean, we could show it, but
I don't want you to tell me what happened.
Okay, I'll keep you in the dark on this one. We're working on it. But here's the thing, we want you to come on the show, man. We don't hate you. We don't hate you, dude. We're offering you money.
We actually feel bad that you've been brainwashed and this happened to you. We want to lovingly deprogram you, take you water surfing, take you hanging out.
Shoot a gun. We'll go shoot guns.
Absolutely.
Go have a steak dinner.
We want to explain what we're doing. We want Renaissance. We are the liberals. Trust us. What you're getting into is not liberal. It's a false paradigm, and we don't want to make fun of you. We want to even halfway get you to be happy and friendly with us and then kind of de-escalate everybody attacking you and have a real discussion where you don't scream we're effing white males when you're an effing white male and actually rehabilitate you. I don't mean that condescendingly, but come on. I mean, really. And have a loving moment here like we did with the Obama phone lady.
And here's what I've said to people like Age Skrillex or people I've had on the show that have different point of views, we could have a a panel. We can bring in people with differing views from us. We can bring in Hillary supporters. He can be one of them. I don't know.
They never want to come on.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how much money you offer them. It doesn't matter.
And they'll go on the street and go, I'm a lesbian. I bet you don't like that. And I'll just go, did you ever hear me attack you in any way?
They want to go on the street for a cause.
Frankly, they have excellent taste.
For a cause, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're moved by this cause of theirs that they're going to go on the street. But then when you ask them a new platform.
And they're projecting onto us that we hate them.
And they don't want to come on your platform.
No, you hate us.
Why won't they come on your platform?
He's like explaining that Donald Trump was against the war, and he goes, shut up, you effing white male.
It's the same dynamic as Bill Clinton.
I've got to hang out with Carl the Cuck in person.
Not taking a DNA test.
Look, this guy could be a TV star. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He could be on.
These guys are
Infowars.
Ridiculous.
They could be on Infowars.
They don't realize how much raw energy they've got.
And they could be sitting right here next to me telling me why they feel this way, sticking up for Hillary, sticking up for the Democratic platform. But
I got to go to calls. And I want to get to the video of the latest kind of boil down of St. Louis. If you just joined us, drudgereport.com, Infowars.com. It's all up there. It is the big exclusive. Banished, the untold story of Danny Williams' search for his father. We premiered it here last hour. The video, you can see it, is on Infowars.com. PrisonPlanet.com, and I hope it's been sent to Facebook as well, because we were going to have a big article written about this and a whole bunch of other stuff. We want to pin that to the top, see?
Everyone ran with the Trump video. You think they'll run with this? Think you're going to see this video on every mainstream news outlet?
No, but here's the good news. They think they can sit there on Fox, on CNN, on MSNBC, and only show her wobble to begin to have the convulsion. I'm skipping this network break. To begin to have the convulsion and then not fall down. And they go, conspiracy theorists claim she fell down. All she did was stumble. I have Fox host. I have CNN host. I have MSNBC host. You're lying when everyone saw her fall on her face having a convulsion and put in the black ambulance.
That's like you.
She drives around in a frickin' ambulance.
It's like you dragging me across the floor right now, and then everyone's saying, what? Alex was just helping him walk out of here.
Yeah, they sit there and think they can just deceive everybody. Drudge has billions of visitors a month. Hundreds of millions of folks come, but over and over again, so it's billions. We have millions and millions every day. Tens of millions every week. Our videos, I mean, I'm not exaggerating. When I say 30 million viewers and listeners a week, that's conservative. It was like 26 million a few months ago. It's just straight up. And of course, even on big shows like The Daily Show, which does have 4, 5, 6 million viewers, quote, entertainment, it's really brainwashing news masquerading as entertainment. To get you in a happy mode and know you're not being critical, then they go, look at these conservatives and libertarians. This lady's got 68 million. This guy's got 25 million. Just one video. His next video has 5 million, 12 million, 20 million. This Paul Watson's got 20 million, 15 million, 18 million, 19 million, 5 million. And they're like, you've got millions of views on your videos. I mean, they're just deluded. No one wants to watch you. They know you're a fop.
It's lazy is what it is. It's laziness. You just, click on your TV.
No one wants to hear the same variants of talking points with a bunch of talking heads acting like they're debating and acting like they're intellectual.
Oh, but didn't you?
Oh, my. Hillary didn't really fall down. The racist Alex Jones said she did. Drudge got caught lying again. He says there's a penalty if you don't get Obamacare. Everybody then gets the penalty and they go, the media's lying.
Well, I heard Donald Trump say he wants to grab women in an inappropriate place. I can't vote for him.
It's clearly all edited together. It's like these women throw themselves at you when you're a star. You just grab them and they wouldn't care.
It's like,
yeah, because they're grabbing you.
Stupid. Here's the thing. All of these people, who's buying?
Hotel room, door opens, woman jumps on you. Oh.
I think, what was it, 100 million copies sold of 50 Shades of Grey? Who bought those books? Men didn't buy those books. I guarantee you that. I guarantee you men didn't buy 100 million copies.
Women act more like men ever did. It's like running around like piranhas. It was a sexual assault when a woman, sits there and whistles at you and says, hey, baby?
And all of these movie stars that all of these trendy liberals probably follow on Twitter.
Hillary hangs out with the worst, horrible rappers that objectify women down to property.
Look, I'm sure you've been around this. If you're around...
Well, I'm not defending what Trump did. The point is you have a giant mountain of evil with Hillary, and then this obviously sneak attack from 11 years ago. It's hypocrisy on PCP. We got to go to the calls. I appreciate Quincy holding. I appreciate Scott holding. I appreciate Matt and Sherry and Decker and Keebler and everybody else. Quincy in Ohio, you're on the air with Owen Schroyer and Alex Jones. The Danny Williams info dropped.
Hey, Alex, thanks for taking my call.
You bet, brother.
Actually, just call me Q, if you would.
All right.
Hey, thanks for putting your life on the line for this movement. You're a true patriot, and you're in my prayers. I'm sure you're in everybody's prayers. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Number one was WikiLeaks. That was what we started with. The second thing is voter fraud.
Yes, sir.
As it relates to WikiLeaks, one of my concerns, Alex, I'm glad to see it's coming out, but it's coming out towards the end. I just feel like we're being deluged with information, and I'm afraid it's going to get diluted. I
hear you, but I kind of see they knew Hillary would launch her attacks late. And so I want to say Assange, I was wrong. I mean, he did troll everybody, so people understand why I did it, but I just want to be a man and say that Assange is really delivering now, so I appreciate that.
His GPA went back up?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd give him a 3.8 right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think we've had him down at like the 3.2, and now he's back up at a 3.8.
And by the way, I'm giving myself a 3.0.
He's modest.
Anyways, caller, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm sure he's going to hit 4.0 before the end of the month. He'll give us the information we need. The second thing we were talking about, earlier, talking about voter fraud. We've got you have voter fraud where there are multiple votes. There's dead people voting. You have
you have the head of the New York Election Commission saying it.
Yes, I saw the video this morning on Drudge. It's really interesting. There's the proof right there, but you're not going to get the right people to watch it. We need the independents and some of the Democrats.
Well, that's why all of us have to reach out to these people lovingly and give them the info.
Absolutely. You talk about voter fraud. You talk about election fraud. One thing that really concerns me is the Electoral College. There's particular people that I think that the top people in our government can reach out to on Election Day and sway their vote. If it's something close and Trump has got a particular district or an area, and I believe these people can be swayed.
Well, absolutely. And beyond that, everybody's like, well, it's a big country. Where do you go to catch the fraud? If citizens go out in the early morning on November 8th, and you go out to the polling places in the key battleground areas in Democrat districts, they're going to be there cramming ballots with fake names they're putting through, dead people, folks they know haven't voted in 20 years. This is what they do. You catch that on tape. You catch somebody doing it. That will devastate them. We get 20, 30 videos of this nationwide. It will have public opinion on the side for a recount, and then it'll come out Trump won. And let me tell you, they're freaking out. Trump's going to fight. He knows he's ahead in his internal polls, and they're going to pull something big. But expanding what you said, we've got to go in. And look, I put my money where my mouth is. You need to go to Democratic areas and go in a Democrat bar and talk to them. But I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're going to find out they agree with you and don't like Hillary. That's what I'm telling you. That's why the fraud's so big. Most Democrats aren't supporting him. You go to buffoon area colleges and buffoon area trendy areas, young idiots that never had a job in their life and are on their third deal at college because there is no future and they're still getting rope-a-doped. They're victims. They are going to hiss and attack you. But if you go talking to working class or middle class liberals or, quote, minorities, they're not stupid. They know the economy's falling apart. They know Hillary's a damn witch. Go ahead, sorry.
Well, the gravity of this election is so powerful that what we're seeing is, okay, so let's say 50% of the population is politically involved and informed, and 50% isn't. So these other 50%, they're paying attention to sports, they're paying attention to this, that, or the other thing. Well, the gravity of this election is so powerful that now they're being drugged in this direction.
Yes, and that's why we went either way. It's waking them up.
And what I've experienced, in fact, just on this trip alone, after this debate, I heard multiple people who said, hey, just in conversation, whatever, around the airport, around the bus station, all this, like, hey, you see that debate last night? Yeah. And they're saying, wow, I'm shocked, but Donald Trump was actually really good. I couldn't believe it. He actually came, he surprised me. I think I like Donald Trump. So there's this untapped voters out there.
And that's why they're panicking. You go to a lot of these areas, half the people going in are Hispanic. We have rallies. It's like there's like 40% black people there. I love that. I mean, I love it. It's breaking through. The Democrats see that and panic because they always said, don't go to a Patriot meeting. You're not wanted. Said they get hugged and taken to dinner, and it's all real. And that's what's panicking everyone because it's lowering the facade. And exactly, a lot of folks go, I'm not sure about Trump, but I'm going to go see. When they come out, they go, wow, that was great. Yeah, I'm going to support Trump now. And that's what's got them panicking. Their whole folks, it's a rout. He was going to win by a landslide. All these dirty tricks, lying polls saying he's way behind, that's getting some weak-minded people to pull their support. So now his lead has narrowed. I'm going to be honest, 5-10 points. But just the fact that the whole mainstream media has had to go to thermal meltdown to even have this effect shows they're on fumes. They're running out. Their days are numbered. Go ahead, Quincy. To you.
Oh, they're running scared. But what about verification? I mean, if you look back at, for example, 2012 with Romney in Ohio here, I could drive down the road and find 20-1 Romney signs to a Hillary Clinton.
But of course
sign.
he lost. Of course, the fix is in.
But he lost. But if you look at you can go back and look at the election results, and you can look at it by district. When you look at it by district, you'll see that it was Romney 861 votes, Obama 873. The next district, Romney 970 votes, Obama 992. Every district, it seems, that you look at, it always shows that it just smells of fraud. That they went in there and they always either they flipped it or they just wanted to always make it where Obama just had a few more. If you had a verification process, you know, I mean, you listen to Trump, and I love listening to him. Every speech seems to be different, but he's getting the message out. He's very powerful in his speaking and his message. But he's always saying, this is an America movement, America, this is a movement, this is a movement. Alex, I own the domain America Movement. I would love to work with you on putting together some kind of app.
No, I hear you, brother. Believe me, we're trying. We appreciate it. Just go do it. If it's great, we'll link in with you. We need the help. We just can't even coordinate our own operation, but I hear you. God bless you, Q. We got to move quick with these calls here. I'm horrible. Scott in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Yeah, good to talk to you. Down here in Houston, we think Trump needs a blockbuster October surprise of his own. Attacking Hillary is great. That is swinging some votes, but he needs issues that will put him over the top. Something along the line of bail out the people.
Ooh, that's good. Well, you know how you bail them out? You do what Kennedy did. He cut taxes in the main bracket 50% to the rich 30%. Tax receipts more than doubled within 1 year. They paid off the debt that was small then, brought all the money. Problem was, Reagan cut taxes, more money came in, but they just ballooned spending. And Republicans were part of that too. But, I mean, we know you cut taxes, more money comes in because more money gets spent, the economy booms. The globalists don't want a boom economy here. They want it in China. And so I think he's given those speeches. It's just the media doesn't ever carry it. So how do you get that through to people that really believe they can only get ahead with a government handout? How do you do that, Scott?
Okay, here's a blockbuster idea. Forgive all bank-issued loans to the people. People own their houses, they own their land, they own their cars, and the banks are not penalized. They take it off the asset side and the liability side.
Well, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't like the big banks and loan sharking and payday loans and stuff, but, I mean, if somebody goes and gets a 20-year mortgage on a house and they've been paying on it a year, you think it's fair for them to just get the house free?
We're down to the last days, Alex.
Well, I guess he would get all the communists to vote for him that way and we'd win, but then we become what we're fighting. I hear you. Very interesting. God bless you, Scott. Very interesting point. We're going to come back with Matt and Sherry and Tony and Luke and everybody else. Yeah. I hear you. I say if a company did criminal loans and sold the mortgage more than once, I say give them the house. And now the Democrats all over the country from Florida to New York are being caught announcing that they're going to have busloads of people voting over and over and over and over again for the Democratic Party officials and the candidates on the buses with them, in many cases driving around, running everything in giant fraud, according to the head of the New York Election Commission and others. Massive, Jane Doe votes going on in Florida on the ballot. The New York Times saying, why? Preliminary election officials tell us it looks like Hillary's winning in preliminary early voting where they do the special stuffing. So get ready for the recounts. Get ready for the battle. Trump is not rolling over. This is an incredible time to be alive. I want to go right back to your calls. Owen Schroyer is here with us. Clinton suggests intervention for protester wearing Clinton rape shirt. More of those happening. Video, African-American man kicked out of Hillary rally for wearing Bill Clinton rape T-shirt. U.S. Navy destroyer comes under attack off Yemen. Pentagon. U.S. and UK continue actively participating in Saudi war crimes targeting the civilians in Yemen. The U.S. edges dangerously closer to war with Russia. What you're not being told. Up on Infowars.com. No mentions of ISIS genocide by Christians during the presidential debate. General Boykin, how does transgender integration help military fight and win wars? I think we should have people dressed up in red high heels and you know, training outfits running around driving with tanks. Why not?
Might confuse the enemy.
This country's so exactly. Hell, go ahead and do it. Whatever, man. Totally normal. Anyways, and not a way to shut down our military thing. It's not sabotage the country.
No,
Even though we have all the emails admitting sabotage. Now they're sabotaging the culture. They admit screwing everybody over. It's okay, though. Creating race war.
Trendy.
Poll that Hillary Clinton's 11 points ahead is run by Clinton ally, paid off by Super PAC. It's all admitted. I mean, again, CNN's put out 2 polls where they'll sample 40-something, just because they vary. You can look it up. You know, just here, CNN caught running another fake poll or rigged poll. You can read their own methodology screenshots. They tell you, we sampled 40-something% Democrats, 20-something Republicans, and then 20-something% independents, which are really Democrats. So it's really like 60% Democrats and 20-something% Republicans. And then she only wins by 15 points. I mean, a 3-year-old could figure this out. Josh?
We found out. We found out.
Josh earlier.
This is what happens when you got 500 stories on your desk, Alex. Literally. But here's the thing. We found the most recent claimed poll that CNN is running. Everybody's running with the Wall Street Journal, all these people saying Clinton is up by 11 points. We found, you can find it. It's public information. We found who they polled. It's more than a quarter staunch Democrats. Okay. And then they go down the list, and then it's normal Democrats, and then it's independents, and it's strong Republicans, and then, kind of Republicans. And of course, by and large, it's not even close. The percentage, if you want to pull up the document cam right here.
Let's go to his phone so we can see this.
You can pull up this document.
That methodology is crooked. That when you're doing 40-something% Democrats, 20-something% Republicans, what the hell do you think is going to happen?
Exactly. And like you said, she's still.
If I have a scale and I put 40-something rocks of the same weight in it, is it going to be heavier than the same size each weight 20-something? Which one's heavier, 40-something or 20-something?
And she still barely wins. 11 points. This is like, I mean, I wonder, what if you actually just pulled Democrats? I wonder what the results are.
Absolutely. Here's one. Politico busted with a rigged poll against Trump. Clifford Cunningham, Infowars.com. And then it goes over how they did this as well. According to a recent conducted by Politico, which sampled 2001 registered voters, 42% thought Hillary Clinton was the winner of the debate compared to 28%. Although large sample size may make the poll seem seemingly accurate to some, the methodology tells a different story. According to the poll's methodology, 37% of those samples are Democrats compared to 30% who consider themselves Republicans. The remaining 33% are independents, and that's where they really get you because they sample in the demographic. Just like CNN says, oh, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, we'll call you back. Well, who's been given the number of 500 respondents to call back? And then CNN admits they poll, again, 40-something% Democrats over 20-something% Republicans. This is ridiculous. This is, I mean, what type of idiot would believe this? The oversampling of Democrats indicates a built-in 7%. This is more fair by Politico. They only put 7% more in, which, I mean, that's like a football game. If you said, well, the Cowboys, we're going to lose by 3 points, but we gave them an extra 7, so it's okay they won. It's okay they just cheated by 7%, right?
Yeah, that's fine. We don't mind that. We don't want a fair match. Why would we want a fair match? This is an American election. There's no rigged election going on here. According to Barack Obama, even the Department of Justice is going to investigate.
Well, and then it goes into more, exactly. It goes into more of how they skew other stuff in the same poll. But just 7% is one way they do it. Then they do it other ways. Now, let me ask this question.
Who's getting polled, though? Who are these people being polled? I've never been polled. Have you been polled? Has any one of the staff ever been polled in one of these?
I've had one phone call years ago, and as soon as I said I was a libertarian, the computer hung up. As soon as I punched that number. That's also how they skew it. They pre-program these, a lot of them. This has come out in the news, where if it isn't what you want, a certain percentage of Republicans or Libertarians, they hang up on and claim, oh, it disconnected to resample till the computer gets the number it wants. So you put an algorithm in, then the computer will just call people until it gets what it wants.
Yeah, you're just getting the desired result.
It'll call and call and call until it gets what it wants. And that's how a hacking program works. They don't like go in after the election and do it. They put an algorithm in.
What are we going to do when they steal this election?
You know, we should have the next 27 days every day just only talk about that. We should probably only talk about that.
This is what I'm going to do.
People ask what the October surprise is. It's the truth. They stole other elections. They're actively stealing this one. I told Trump, other people had it. He's smart. He talked to experts. He went public. There's election fraud. They came out and said no such thing exists. Then they said, oh, my God, it's so bad. We've got to federalize it. Homeland Security's in there right now. The Democrats are running around stealing the election. What do we do?
I don't know if you've heard about this, but what do you think about, I call for all Donald Trump voters on November 8th to be decked out in red. And then if you go to the polling place, everyone's wearing red.
That's a great idea.
Not even close. And then they claim it's Hillary. We will have caught them.
It's a great idea. Well, because they're the liberals and loving. It's okay that they cheat. And we've kind of gotten on the point where we know they're cheating. Do we start cheating? And
that's fair. That's not cheating, though. There's nothing illegal about that.
I mean, I've gotten to the point where...
They'll call it cheating, though. They will.
Well, I don't want to stoop to their level. I want to expose them for cheating and stop it. But if they get rid of the ballot box, then I guess they're going to force people into the cartridge box. And I don't want the cartridge box, but they actively want to come arrest us, put us in prison, shut us down. So at a certain point, I guess the candy asses want to dance.
I mean, that's the only, I mean, unless they wake up and realize what's going on, I don't know what else we can do. What am I supposed to do? Here's the thing, Alex. We're fighting for America. We're fighting for freedom. And we don't want these social justice warriors in our way. They're actually on our team. Unfortunately, they're scoring for the other team, but they're on our team. I don't want to.
Yeah, they're getting screwed over by the New World Order. They're getting screwed over. Absolutely.
I don't want to run them over. I don't want to fight with you. That's not. You're in my way. Move, bitch. Get out the way. That's what it is.
You see them headlights?
But that's what it is. I mean, again, Age Skrilletz, you're not my enemy, man.
Knock the curtain down.
Carl LeCuck, you're not my enemy. All these people I talk to at the Wash U outside that don't like Donald Trump, you're not my enemy, okay? We need to be united in this election. And I'm telling you, I don't get it. Everyone agrees. Media's corrupt. Government's corrupt. Yet where do they go for their answers in this election? The mainstream media and Hillary Clinton, who's been in the government for 30 years.
And they feel validated because the big mommy media told them so. So they're like, you're in trouble. I'm tattling.
Even Megyn Kelly debuted the Trump video showing
even
how
Megyn
he touches
Kelly,
people.
Oh my goodness, even her. Did you read People magazine? I want to play some of this, but we got to go to calls. Briefly, folks, this is listener-supported broadcast. We have incredible supplements, vitamins, minerals, nutraceuticals, InfoWarsLife.com. You can call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force, our top-of-the-line product for cleansing out the cells and energy and nerve regrowth and so much more. You can actually make claims on this product. It's so incredible. Because a lot of the stuff we put on it's patented and sold as drugs, but legal. You understand? Not prescription, like BioPQQ in Europe and things. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or call toll-free 888-253-3139. That ends today. 7 years in the making. From our research, the ultimate Biome Defense probiotic with 50 billion cultures or 25 billion cultures, depending on what you want, the regular strength or extra strength, double strength is what we should call it. This is not just like 25% more, it's 50% more. So InfoWars, this is 100% more. That's InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, whether it's colloidal silver, whatever the case may be, we've got it. We've got our big industrial cold room at 60 degrees, shipped with a cold pack to you. You don't lose too much if it warms up, but you need to get in the refrigerator as soon as you get it for maximum effect. It's loaded with other enzymes and things for the probiotics to feed on, get through your gut. So the little paratroopers, the little good guy cells, the little good guys, they all have like a little backpack of goodies with them when we send the troops in. We don't send a bunch of starving or dead troops in. We send in the highest quality. InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com, or 888-253-3139. We'll stop selling the Hillary for Prison shirt that we coined a year and a half ago in T-minus 27 days. All right, Sherry, holding for a while from the great state of Texas. Sherry, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Thanks, Alex. Here's an example of how important WikiLeaks is to us. And it also helps further explain why the authorities moved.
Listen, it's so important. I want you to get off speakerphone. I know you've been holding a while and you're a sweetheart. And I'm going to send you a free Hillary for Prison shirt because you held so long. Give us your name and address. Or you can have the new one that's the Gadsden flag, lock her up shirt, by the way. But, ma'am, please get off speakerphone.
Okay.
Good.
Here I am.
Good.
You got me?
Good.
All right. Can you hear me, Alex?
Good. Good.
Here's an example of how important WikiLeaks is to us, and it further explains what you were talking about the other day about why the authorities wanted to remove Gandhi's statue from a churchyard. Are you with me, Alex?
Ma'am, I am absolutely with you. I just wanted you to get off speaker.
Just to make sure. I am off the speaker.
No, I know you are. I know. And then so we can hear you clearly. I said just jump off speaker, and we hear you clear, and you hear me clear now, right?
Okay. Yeah. I gotcha. I was my mistake. I'm sorry. I forgot I had it.
It's okay. We'll go as long as you want. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, thanks. It also answers how we can fight back, at least in my opinion, it's the best way. Last month, I decided to see a movie I had taped a long time ago. It's the night of the movie Gandhi, the 1982 movie Gandhi, with Ben Kingsley as the star. And I started taking notes immediately. He was a simple lawyer, as people know, and he became the leader of India and a symbol of peace and all this at a time when the British administration had taken over the country. They were going through exactly what we are going through and will go through if things keep going.
Sure, and well, look. I mean, whether you love Gandhi or don't, you're right that they want to take a statue down because notice one day it's a Confederate general, now it's Gandhi. Now at major colleges they want Martin Luther King taken down because he said all God's children of every color.
Take down the manger
but you didn't say transgender or gay. How the hell are you supposed to? They want the power to control language. It's not liberal. It's scientifically directed. Go ahead.
Gandhi had some things to say to the British administration, and I made a point of three things. He said the people cannot tolerate injustice from Hitler or anyone. That's a quote. And to combat injustice, make the injustice visible. That's pretty common to a lot of people. But he went on. He was also questioned about the poor and about combating poverty. And he said, quote, poverty can be removed if his people's skills can be revived. In other words, no direct Wall Street connection, no... no,
I mean, of course, he knew that. No, a lot of stuff he said was good. And he, by the way, because Hitler was into Eastern mysticism and into Buddhism and things, I know Gandhi was a Hindi, but the point is, they were pen pals. Because Hitler was like Mr. America, good guy at our news, a eugenicist. Gandhi started talking to Hitler a lot in letters. And there's famous letters. He wrote them at the end saying, I can't support you. You're really being bad doing this, and you're going to get destroyed. Germany will fall. You're crazy. Gandhi was really smart. Some of the stuff he was into was a little weird, but hey, whatever. He was a visionary, a trailblazer. I agree with you. At Gandhi University, them pulling down his statue is, again, about every symbol hurts somebody's feelings. Let's get rid of it. I appreciate your call, Sherry.
And now they've got control over the internet in the UN level. So what are you going to do when they try to block you or say that your side,
which is now starting, and as soon as Hillary gets in,
I'm sure the UN will answer. I'm sure if you try to reach out to the UN, they'll get right back to you with that. There'll be no problems there.
It's amazing. Let's go ahead and go to Matt in Maryland. Thanks for holding. You're a trooper. I'm going to send you a free Hillary for President or the limited edition Lock Her Up Gadsden flag snake, actually suppressing Hillary. It's not hurting her. It's lovingly coiled up around her. In fact, if I was liberal, I'd say the snake's not hurting her in the photo. It's lovingly keeping her warm. That's what boa constrictors do. Giant rattlesnake boa constrictors that are just as real as Obamacare being free. That shirt, so we're going to send you that for holding for an hour and a half. Go ahead.
Oh, thanks. Well, I was online yesterday, and I seen this video going around. It's of a local New York news station, WPIX-11. It's got 3 news anchors on there, and they're goofing around with one of those, those old digital cameras that you snap. I mean, disposable ones, and they were snapping pictures of each other with the flash coming across. And then the one anchor said, "Yeah, these are banned from Secret Service said we're not allowed to use these because of bringing on Hillary Clinton's seizure."
And, I mean, he was probably being tongue-in-cheek. They have told him don't have flash around her. That is going on. She does have seizures. But were they just pointing that out to their audience or that it actually happened to them?
On air. I actually had the video. I recorded it and put it on YouTube.
Wow, great. What's the name of the YouTube channel or the name of the video? We'll pull it up.
It's, the name of the video is Secret Service Bans Cameras with Flash. And it's the second video.
Well, that's big. We need to get that. That's certainly newsworthy. That's why it's so important you called in. I haven't gotten to this yet, and I should have. We actually have a clip of Hillary and the N-word. Hillary described using the N-word, WBEN, 9:30 a.m., Buffalo, New York. And this is the chef, Tracy Martin, on the show, talking about during Clinton's first term. He describes her using the N-word in an interview. We're going to play that coming up. But listen, it's well known Hillary uses that term. I've talked to folks that were basically her handler. She's very racist. And again, it's all about betrayal. I mean, if I'm going to use the N-word, which I never have, I'm going to use it to your face. It's this. I mean, it's just Democrats are like the plantation managers, folks, over everybody. They see us all as their slaves.
Well, the boa constrictor keeps you warm, and the Democrats want to rebuild the inner cities. That's obvious. But I know these info warriors. They're so active out there. They're going to make you go broke with all these Bill Clinton rape shirts getting on the mainstream news. But I think we might have another challenge now, Alex. How about we get info warriors to go to Hillary Clinton rallies? She's got 4 coming up before the next debate. And start taking pictures. Get the flash out. Take a picture. I don't want you to induce a seizure. I'm not saying that we want Hillary to...
Secret Service might arrest you for assault.
Expose how she's sick and that you can't even have a flash at a rally because she's so
consciously,
sick.
But they can say, no, she does have epilepsy from the brain tumor. You're consciously trying to make her have a seizure. That is a form of assault, but I get your point. They say she doesn't have it, so it's not a problem.
So we'll expose it.
Everybody should try to get into rallies with it and get them recorded with audio saying you can't have a flash camera. Thank you so much, Matt. Great point. Well, it's the top story on Infowars.com. It's the top story on PrisonPlanet.com. We've been discussing it here live and all the other insanity going on with the head of New York election saying, oh, the party people and the Democrats, who's a Democrat, bus people around to vote over and over again, but we're not going to stop it. I don't like it, but it's just the way it is. And, yeah, they're stuffing the ballots, right now in Florida for Hillary to win, but, that's being reported in Florida. Meanwhile, banished, the untold story of Danny Williams' search for his father. Danny tries to reconnect with his reported father, Bill Clinton. That's the headline I gave it. Kit posted, he did a great job, but we probably should just go with Drudge. He's so good at headlines and really condensing all of this down to what it really is. It's Bill Clinton's son speaks out. So we'll probably just retweet that, Facebook that with Bill Clinton's son, in quotes, speaks out. Ask for a DNA test. That's even a more powerful headline because that's what's going on. We're taking phone calls. We've got Owen Schroyer here, one of our co-hosts, with us. We're going to ride a little bit in the next hour with David Knight, play a boil down of some of the craziness that he saw at the debate in St. Louis, and continue with your calls. And we got some Patriots coming in today as well. And we got the Nightly News coming up tonight, 7 o'clock Central. Other big surprises tomorrow. You'll want to tune in. Please support the broadcast, as I mentioned earlier. DNA Force, 23% off. That sale ends tonight. A lot of other great specials. Sign up for auto ship, get 10% off. Free shipping on orders $50 or more. InfoWarsStore.com, InfoWarsLife.com. The whole world goes around because you supporting us. You are the InfoWar. I salute you. Anything you want to add before we go to Luke in Florida?
I think we should all wear red on November 8th to make sure they don't steal the election from us. And the Trump rally in Wilkes, Pennsylvania last night almost had me in tears. It was so powerful.
Well, we need to post that whole rally and maybe have you do the highlights of it or something for the news. Get some clips.
The whole thing, man. I mean, it's just, if Donald Trump is for real, folks, he is the greatest American hero in hundreds of years.
When he's gone through living hell, he's the man in the arena.
He is going through public torture right now for this country in every debate and every day in the mainstream news. Let's go back to these great callers, Alex.
I was telling them to tip the camera down. I'm not telling you to stop. They just
no, I know, but
I have this headroom obsession with there being too much headroom. I'm here directing the show while we're doing things. Hold on. The Russians are giving orders. Yes, Vladimir. Okay.
Wait, what's that? The Jews are in my ear. Hold on, you've got too many news stacks on
Vatican,
your desk.
They did it. As if anyone could direct the circus.
You didn't even know what the reports that we were working on in St. Louis. I'm telling you, you give me complete freedom.
Well, how can I? I'm busy with the October surprises.
I don't know, Alex. You've only got, 5,000 news stories on your desk.
I hit about 100 articles a day. There's like 300 I didn't get to. I mean, it's just,
Well, you
got every WikiLeaks. We have the total proof she lied again to Congress and was being paid by foreign governments. But she won't get locked up because the damn criminal put all her people in.
I don't know who could do this, but if somebody can get a piece of Bill Clinton's hair or dead skin or something, we can run the DNA test independently with Danny Williams, prove that Bill Clinton.
Sure, but they'll claim the providence of it and the evidence chain.
Imagine this, Alex. Webb Hubbell gets a DNA test with Hillary or with Chelsea, and Danny Williams gets a DNA test with
By
Danny
the way,
Williams.
exactly. Reportedly, for whatever reason, the Israelis wanted to blackmail Bush or something, and others, whenever he would go to foreign countries, they were having people get in the sewer, and they were guessing times he went to the bathroom, and then opening the sewer pipes to get the.
I'm not suggesting anybody does that.
And
Monica
Bush
has a dress you might want to look at.
Pardon me?
I said Monica has a dress.
Monica has a dress.
Oh, Monica's dress.
Exactly, but expanding on that,
That's
Bush
been
then
burned.
started having a portable toilet taken with him.
He had to bring a toilet along with him?
No, I'm not kidding. You can Google
I'm
it.
surprised he's not just crapping in a bag or something. Throwing it at each other.
And more flies.
Oh, that's Bohemian Grove. That's Bohemian Grove.
No, that's Skull and Bones. They pee on each other at Bohemian Grove. Skull and Bones as they wallow in the feces. I'm sorry, folks. It's a children's show or whatever, but it's a family show. But we're just reporting on reality now. And the Lord of the Flies. We're going to come back to Luke and others in 70 seconds. Hour number 4 straight ahead. This is the InfoWar. All right, I got a bunch of clips. They did a little joke piece with Hillary ribbiting now. She does ribbits. And then all her other stuff mixed in. That's coming up. Highlights of your confrontations with social justice warriors. Then Rob Dew. It's not David Knight's coming in with these patriots that we had to bump, but they're great. They're Middle Nightly News tonight as well. Danny Williams' information, the reportedly illegitimate son of Bill Clinton. That exclusive, his message to his father, very powerful, is on Infowars.com. It's a top story on DrudgeReport.com. Please get that out. And you will want to tune in tomorrow live during the show for more October surprisos. Let's go ahead and go to Luke in Florida. Luke, thanks for holding.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I just wanted to bring up observation from the debate. I was curious, why do you think Hillary Clinton had a second microphone or what looked like a microphone on her jacket when her and Trump both had handheld microphones?
Trump had a lob, too. That's just backup so they don't have problems.
All right. I was just wondering.
But it's admitted that she's got to have somebody in her ear during speeches telling her what to do. That's in the new WikiLeaks.
Because I also noticed that she had a nice comb over her ear with her hair.
I noticed that, too. Well, it looked like she had an earpiece before. Hell, she's got a Secret Service agent by her when somebody says something going, it's okay, keep going, it's all right, it's all right. I mean, she's definitely losing some of her mental capacities when she has these strokes, when she has these convulsions. She's out of it for a few days. Then she gets better.
Yeah. The other thing was I'm down here in the skin tag of the United States, Florida, and I was wondering, I want to put up some banners. What do you think is a good thing to put on banners that's short and sweet and that might encourage people to look into something?
Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton are criminals. Bill Clinton is a rapist. Websites, Infowars.com. What do you think?
You could use their own kind of brainwashing movements against them, and you could put up like a picture of Danny Williams and say, Black Lives Matter. Look at Danny Williams. Look at the crimes against Danny Williams. Black Lives Matter.
Exactly. Hashtag Black Lives Matter Danny Williams, and everybody comes and sees our story and our video and him trying to get back with his father.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just trying to think of something that would, get people to at least, if somebody spends 15 minutes, just looking into stuff with, outside their echo chamber, they're going to wake up. So you just have to get those people, to spend just 15, 20 minutes looking into something real instead of listening to the same propaganda from their friends on Twitter.
Well, that's it. They try to segregate libertarians, conservatives, people ethnically, you name it, liberal, whatever, into little groups where you get fed your own echo chamber. We need to do raids into the brainwashed areas. Really great points, Luke. I appreciate your call. We're going to go to break, come back and play a few other clips, recap some things, and then move forward. But I have to tell you, Owen Schroyer, I agree with you. We have to focus front and center on election fraud, on the fact that it's happening. But to say, listen, don't give up because the fraud's happening. The landslide is what opposes it. But the establishment is so evil that they're trying to block Trump and this populist movement. That's why you should be for Trump. The foreign communist Chinese, the Pope, the evil Saudi Arabians, every criminal group is against him because they know his MO. He's his own person. He's a nationalist. And whether he's perfect or not, they've already hijacked the country. With this two-party dictatorship and the whole system's against him, we have to support him. So we got 26 days, basically. 27 is long in the tooth. We've got to decide, how are we going to fight this? What are we going to do? How are we going to counter it? Because we got the head of elections, New York, saying it's total fraud.
This is our country, and this is our right to vote for our next leader. I'm not going to let the fake lying media and the fake politicians steal this one from me.
But you're an effing white male. We have to vote 5 times against you.
I'll be a transvestite. Will you count my vote then?
Maybe.
Maybe that's what we do. We all change genders, then they'll count our vote.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Owen Schroyer's riding shotgun with me. We've got about 10, 15 minutes. We've got Rob Dew coming in from the other studio with a whole bunch of breaking news and information. Speaking of breaking news and information, there are thousands of emails being gone through with the third data dump of the week by WikiLeaks, and it's now pay dirt. It's Hillary getting money from foreign governments, paper play, espionage, knowing stuff's classified, Chelsea freaking out saying, oh, they want us to settle a $9 billion lawsuit. They just paid us money, and they're ordering me around. We're going to get in trouble. This is illegal. It's all there. To quote Tulsa Doom, they'll all drown in lakes of blood. Instead, they'll all drown in lakes of WikiLeaks. Hillary Clinton bragged about being invited to Putin's inner sanctum, Breitbart.com, going up on Infowars.com. The big clearinghouse for all of this is DrudgeReport.com right now. Shortly after being revealed or relieved of her duties as Secretary of State, Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton reportedly gave a series of speeches in which she described Russian President Vladimir Putin as a very interesting conversationalist who she said had gotten to know, including a visit to his private inner sanctum to discuss wildlife conservation. So let's go over this. Right after she was no longer the Secretary of State, the presidential nominee Hillary Clinton reportedly gave a series of speeches in which she described Russian President Vladimir Putin as a very interesting conversationalist who she had gotten to know, including a visit, as she vomit green balls on him, to his private inner sanctum. I don't think Putin wants to be around her private sanctum, or I don't think there'll be any grabbing from Trumpists, to discuss wildlife conservation. Clinton, who, you know, you got Santa, you got Krampus, the bad Santa, and you got Trumpus. It's a good, super good
Trumpus,
Santa.
The good Santa?
Trumpus, dude. If Trumpus comes, you get really good stuff, like your taxes cut in half.
Trumpus,
I'd love to be visited by Trumpus.
Trumpus is checking Hillary's list twice.
Have you been a good patriot?
He's checking the WikiLeaks twice.
I'm going to lock your ass up, lady. We're like, it's fascism. Not if she's a criminal.
Oh, here's Hillary. Putin's bad. Putin's bad. Putin's bad. Hillary's emails. I was in with Putin. I'm good.
Meanwhile, she got $35 million, and her chief of staff did, to give him 1/5 our uranium.
No, don't worry
the
about
Russians
that.
are trying to advance their aims. They're certainly involved in stuff. The thing is, it's with her. That's what I mean. Our husbands are raping people, settling cases. They're accusing Trump of it. It's like everything they say, like Trump has evil magics, the new Democrat Party statement. No, you are evil.
How about this? Outside of the realm of truth, let's just look at these stories for what they are in existence. They don't cover the bad Hillary stories. Never.
That are 50 times worse. People are like, but Alex, Trump
and
really
she's been in
about,
government.
You know, women are jumping on me. You can just grab them. They love it. Yeah.
Yeah, ask Tiger Woods.
Yeah, when a woman's jumping on you, that's the whole point.
Ask Tiger Woods about that. He's had a
It's
little
not
experience.
Sexual assault if they're throwing themselves at you.
And again, look, no,
woman's cheeks turn red, they grab you. That means get to work.
I don't have to defend.
I mean, you know, if you're a mammal, you know, God made us this way. I'm not. They've got all the fake Christians thinking sex is the only bad thing out there.
And you know what? It's weird,
if they
too.
stand up for some unborn babies, I'd be happy.
Here's something that I just realized having this conversation with you.
Fake Christians, once you get the abortion ban, you can start talking about sex being evil all day. And I get it. Sex is important. You need to stay with your family and have kids, and it's all good. But that's all you harp on because you know everybody's having sex. You want to make us all feel guilty like a bunch of Pharisees. Where's Christ when you need him with a bullwhip to beat you upside the head?
They tell us these stories that we evolved from primates, that were, you know, primal animals, essentially. But then they want us to reject all of our primal animal instincts and demonize us for having them. You can't have it both ways.
No, in the words of Up in Smoke, when they get the pizza at the end, and, you know, General Stadinkus or Lieutenant Stinkus goes, go with it, on the pizza. Can we get that video, please? The end of Up in Smoke, when they eat the pizza, can we just go,
Alex, I've been told I got to try to keep you on the rails here in the 4th hour. All right, you're thinking about Up in Smoke now. All right, but this isn't the Hillary campaign Up in Smoke. That's what it should be.
I don't smoke marijuana, but I like Stacy Keach, and that's a funny part of the movie.
Didn't
because the van's on fire and all the pots getting the cops high.
You know that
and then there's all this pizza and the cops go crazy.
Is that the one when they're in the back of the van and it keeps moving up and down and everyone's like, "What is going on?" And then the woman walks out. That's probably what Trump's tour van looks like. It's
no. No, it's a family show. Be serious.
Okay.
No, here it is. Hey, jihadis killing 200,000 Christians and cutting women's genitals off and selling 5-year-olds into sex slavery, and 100 jihadis raping a 6-year-old till she dies. That's not an issue. Us making jokes, that is. So stop it right now.
And, you know, Donald Trump talking with his, whether Billy Bush is his friend or not, I don't know, but having a locker room conversation. Did you see the new one? Oh, I've talked to athletes. That's not how they talk in the locker room. Actually, I worked in professional media. I can personally tell you that, yes, athletes do talk like that in the locker room.
Let me tell you what goes on in the football locker room.
You don't want to know.
I mean, there's so much cussing and sex talk and all this stuff that it's a crescendo of noise, and all you want to do is get in the showers and get the hell out of there.
It's true.
Hey, guys.
Especially as a media member.
One of the things that I thought was really interesting about it is that, you know, the left has been like the champion of open sexuality and, you know, liberal views towards sexuality. And then now they're the ones coming back and saying, oh, no. Did you hear what Donald Trump said about women?
Oh, it's like the new Victorian age. But it's doublethink. They can do whatever they want. Teach your 5-year-old how to do horrible stuff. But then if you're an adult, go ahead.
They're
like secretly recording and edited tape.
Gore Vidal, the stuff that Gore Vidal was putting out.
Oh, he put movies out where trannies are raping people and sexually liberated. They're allowed to rape everyone, and it's loving. And Gore Vidal's been on the show and wrote some good stuff, too. And I mean, I'm not attacking him on every front, but he wrote some stuff that I read, which is like he's advocating a tranny running around raping people. That's not right. But because it's liberating for the tranny, it's okay. Right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole point, is the doublethink. Like you just said, I can do it, but then, oh, I preach tolerance until you have a differing view. Now I'm not tolerant. I'm tolerant of everything and everyone and anyone, and everything's great.
But I can judge you.
Oh, my God, wait, you're disagreeing with me? Shut them down. He's racist.
Again, if you just joined us, Banished, the untold story of Danny Williams. Search for his father, exclusive, Infowars.com. Danny tries to reconnect with reported father Bill Clinton. That's my headline I did with Kit. Kit is awesome. I'm going to change it, though, because Drudge has got it right. Bill Clinton's son, in quotes, the son part in quotes, Bill Clinton's son asked for DNA test from Bill Clinton. I mean, that's basically it.
Do the test, Bill. Why wouldn't you?
Alex, one other thing. Bernie Sanders used to write smut as well. Nobody ever brought that up. That was not a big deal.
Well, I mean, listen, Bill, Obama's real father, the reason they did the whole Kenya thing and in his Harvard Review and every other publication said, I'm from Kenya. We're like, you say you're from Kenya, stop lying, you know. That was all to hide the fact his father was Frank Marshall Davis. And then he writes in his Dreams of My Father, I spent summers with Frank Marshall Davis, my grandfather's best friend, because it's your daddy.
He looks exactly like
who was a communist funding himself with porn. And I don't mean softcore. I mean Betty Page stuff. He had pretty good taste. Well, I'm sorry. Anyways, getting back to
here's another thing. They've got these kids so brainwashed and mind-controlled. Yesterday when Owen was interviewing people, or day before, the guy said, Trump said he liked kissing pretty girls. Oh, my God. Oh, it's like, really?
The humans are together. The humans love each other. They want to have babies. Are these like aliens? We must reduce their population. Teach them that this is bad. The slur lord. We have them not producing.
It was
Good
so
job, Glomular.
Yeah, totally ridiculous, but that's what they've done to our culture. They've been ingrained. That's why these young kids, there is no racism because they've, literally beat it out of them. There is no anything. There is follow what the state says. And
where's the article I asked for it again?
It's wrong, and everything is racist except what we say.
I agree, dude. We're going back to you in just a minute. I'll play 2 clips and I'm out of here. But let me show you this article. One of the WikiLeaks, Infowars.com. Clinton campaign email outlines effort to, quote, produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Now, I just quoted this. Clinton email outlines effort to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. Here, let me read this to you. A Clinton campaign email released a part of WikiLeaks data earlier today that talks about a need to maintain political power by producing a, quote, unaware and compliant citizenry. But the quote gets better. Get ready for this. The email, because this sounds like something an alien would say. Your planet is under...
Say it in an NPR voice so it's okay.
You are overpopulated. You are no longer breeding. Oh, okay, sure. Calm. The email was sent to Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, by former Clinton administration official Bill Ivey on March 13, 2016. Trust us, love us, sleep. Sleepy time. Oh, free doctors. Oh, we're liberal. Sorry. Ivey was appointed chairman of the National Endowment of the Arts during Bill Clinton's second term. According to his bio, Ivey is a trustee of the Center for American Progress, a Clinton campaign front, and was a team leader in Barack Obama's presidential transition. In the email, Ivey outlines a panic amongst some Democrats that Donald Trump's, quote, celebrity politics persona cannot be matched by Hillary, who is, quote, not an entertainer, and not a celebrity in the Trump-Kardashian mold, close quote. Continuing to quote from the email, in the latest WikiLeaks data, Tom, I'm liberal, see, I talk like this, it means I'm intellectual, not reading talking points. Money isn't, let me get back, sorry. Let me just be real condescending, and I'm a total genius. I'm a slow IQ, but I act like I'm smart. Let me go. I'm channeling these people, channeling them. I'm a parasite, I'm channeling them. Here we go. Money isn't all that important if you can conflate entertainment with the election process. So they admit he's hijacking it. Trump masters TV. TV called news picks up the repeats and repeats to the death. Skip the break, guys. To the optimized blowhard and his harebrained ideas. Free-floating discontent attaches to the seeming strongman, and we're off and running, complains Ivey. And he's got the psychology. We're looking for somebody to just take the government back, follow the Constitution, take the handcuffs off, don't let China and everybody else have double-sided deals with these little slimers that get it. Notice everything you're hearing from them is what I tell you word for word every day, but from the perspective of liberty. I'm telling you how they work. Let me get back in the mode. It's hard to talk like these people. By the way, behind the scenes, they just hop on there. I'm going to get you. I'll murder you. What's rent control? And they go, oh, liberal, non-threatening. It's all their camo. I'm wearing different color socks, and I'm wearing a Hindi necklace. Now you are under our control. Excuse me. Oh, let me get back into character. I'm a fake liberal. I'm a fake... peace, brothers. Hold on. And as I've mentioned, we've all been quite content to demean government, drop civics, and in general conspire to produce an unaware and compliant citizenry. The higher caste leader says. Now here's the most important part. The unawareness remains strong. Oh, thank God you hear that. The unawareness remains strong. Keep them in sleep. Sleep, sleep. Sleep. The unawareness remains strong, but compliance is obviously fading rapidly. They're unaware, but their animal instinct, their gut, their spirit, their subconscious knows, and it's not complying. The unawareness remains strong, but compliance is obviously fading rapidly. This problem demands some serious thinking, and not just poll-driven, demographically inspired messaging. Race war.
So I guess that's them admitting that they rigged the polls to try to provide fake optics, to try to help rig this thing.
They don't rig... don't speak with that scratchy voice, provincial. I'm sure... What is that, racist? What? I don't have to... Just a racist.
I'm done. I've been trumped by your comment calling me a racist. But that's what they actually do.
Racist. Racist. How do you deal with such intellectual strategy?
Folks, people say this all the time. We want Owen on the streets doing this more often. Go to InfoWarsStore.com.
I didn't want to execute them. Felt I owed it to them.
Buy the products, okay? That's how you send me to these events, Alex. And
let's play the event tape.
Here you go.
We gotta go quick.
Yeah.
No, set it up.
Well, basically, so, these are the people that we deal with. We've exposed these people. I don't know how many videos I have exposing these people. It shows the difference, the dynamic difference between how informed a Trump voter is versus a Hillary voter. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, sexual assault that he admitted to. He lost $1 billion in 1 year. He's a villain. So did Steve Jobs. Hold on. So you want a rapist in the White House? He wants a rapist in the White House. He's a rapist. Who has Donald Trump raped?
He's saying that, it's okay that I can touch a woman because I'm...
Who has has Donald Trump raped? Name one woman. Name one woman. Donald Trump is a moron. Donald Trump's a moron. This guy has made billions of dollars. One of the most successful businessmen in the world. His money. His daddy gave him everything. If you got $1 million and
14.
Okay, fine. If you got $100 million and turned it into $6 billion, would that be a success?
No, because I could do better in an index fund.
No, that's not a success. Turning millions into billions.
Hillary created the derivatives with Larry Summers and Clinton that has 2.2 quadrillion, 100 times all the wealth in the world. We're totally screwed. They never had a real job in their life. But suddenly they don't like it because you have some ventures, like I've done films that did not make money, only a few, but each one has a corporation. I don't declare bankruptcy, but it's a write-off towards everything else. That's what you do. A new hotel, a new golf course, a new venture. He's had 4 or 5 bankruptcies. That's normal. Warren Buffett's had thousands with his subsidiaries.
And he's been bailed out by the government.
400 and something billion in the bailout. Yeah, I know. Go back to it.
Success. Turning millions into billions is not a success. This is right out of Austin Powers. Why make billions when we can make millions? This is what we're dealing with out here. Hold on. Donald Trump is kicking ass. Have you seen a Hillary Clinton rally?
No, I haven't.
Exactly, because nobody goes. Donald Trump has people. Why don't you like Trump?
Because he's a turd.
That's so. This guy just blew my mind with his intellect.
What's it look?
You like Jill Stein? Do you think she has a chance?
She's got no chance, but it's okay.
Hey, you know what? Hey, at least you're not supporting Hillary. I've never really understood that. Could you explain that to me?
I think it's just that I'm not well spoken. Someone just gave it to me. I've been carrying it around. I don't really.
Oh, you don't really care much about the sign?
I'm just here to get free stuff. So.
So, did you like Bernie Sanders?
Yes, I did.
Hillary supports
Thank
love
you.
and Trump does not.
Yeah, there you go.
Because Trump's racist.
What has he done that's racist?
Just everything, like everything that comes out of his mouth. Well, not hiring, but some of the comments that he makes regarding like different genders and different like races, and just like anyone who he doesn't consider a true American, which he defines the white male as like.
When did he do that?
I don't want to talk to you anymore. Well, I feel like Donald Trump does a lot of things that could be construed as evil. Obviously,
like, can you name one?
How about the video that was just released? How can you support Trump? I just don't.
Because I want to save America, personally. Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for
president. Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
So is Bill not going to go to the White House then?
Bill will be in the White House, but Hillary...
So do you want a rapist in the White House?
Donald Trump would be in the White House if he won.
Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
You're not answering the question. Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Bill is not a rapist.
Do you want a rapist in the White House?
Hillary is running for president.
Won't answer the question. Well, you made it an issue about women. You made it an issue about women. So if you're going to call out Trump's rhetoric against women, why don't you call out Bill's actual rape?
Because Bill has nothing to do with this election. This is Hillary Clinton versus Donald Trump.
Go ahead.
This should be about Trump's policies versus Hillary's policies. I agree. Specifically, I'm referring to the video from 2005.
What do you think about the email leaks that show who Hillary really is?
I don't care. Donald Trump said on this video that he likes kissing pretty women and that...
You don't?
Sir, can I finish?
You like kissing ugly women?
Excuse me.
Email leaks have shown how Hillary Clinton has called her own supporters dumbasses.
Donald Trump
like you
said that Mexicans are rapists and murderers.
Never said that. Never said that. He said illegal immigrants, sir. So just because rape happens, we should just let it go on in more abundance?
No, we shouldn't.
Well, that's your logic.
But Donald Trump is saying that all Mexicans are rapists and murderers. How?
Never said that.
All right, that's powerful. Obviously, folks, these people, and I'm not being mean to them, but they all look very weak, very pale, like total followers. And then they keep on the news like he was looming behind Hillary. He may have attacked her. Experts say, you were making a joke. I was eating real quick during a break. You go, that's aggressive. You're triggering me eating that food real fast. like a wolf. Like a wolf. Well, I got to eat here. I haven't eaten since like 7 a.m. So all this is going on. And it's literally like they're just these little, Hillary, I love you. This country is literally producing piles of jellyfish. I mean, I'm sorry, folks, we're done. And those of us that produce and are not jellyfish, we've got to break away from these people and just stop submitting to them and them trying to henpeck us how to talk and what to do. I want to show some video here, going out to break, a final comment that we shot of Behar, attacking the women, calling them tramps, 12-year-old girls that got brutally raped. Guy got convicted. Hillary tried to stop it. She said she knew he was innocent. And then it just feeds into her vomiting green balls and this new ribbiting thing she did yesterday. And then it cuts into actually a shot of her literally being a severed alien head. I believe she is a literal spider from outer space walking around eating people. I'm being sarcastic. I'm trolling the media, but here it is.
Several of those women slept with him knowing he was a married man.
Awesome!
Again, she is the victim here.
What difference at this point does it make?
She's the victim here, and they were saying that she attacked some of those women. They're lucky.
Hillary's a good leader. I trust Hillary.
Our mother is giving birth to this planet will serve us well. Oh, yeah. No, not the Trump. Not him, the enemy. Oh, disturbing. Mommy, Mommy, oh, good. Oh,
awesome. All right, we got about 30 minutes left in the Alex Jones Show. We are deep into overdrive. I'm your host, Rob Dew, sitting in the Situation Room. And I've got in the other studio, the big studio, Joe Biggs sitting down with a couple Army Rangers, Nate Self and Joel Carpenter. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Actually, Joe did an interview with them earlier today. It's going to premiere on the Nightly News tonight. But these guys have written a book, and they've also worked by working in special ops, they've had to deal with different types of classified material. So we're going to talk a little bit about what how Hillary gets away with this leaking of classified material, not maintaining it, not keeping control of it, while people like them, if they were to do the same thing, they would be roasted. But before we go to them, I want to play just a couple short clips. We had a caller earlier talking about the Pix 11 news footage where they're talking about the basically they were trying to divert your attention. They were trying to hide the fact that Hillary Clinton got trounced in the debate. So they're talking about the cardboard cameras people were holding, and they're talking about the big guy who asked the question about coal energy wearing the red sweater. He's the big winner of the debate because they can't admit that Trump won. So they have to do all this obfuscation. And then they let the cat out of the bag that the reason the Secret Service banned cell phone footage or cell phone cameras, okay, the reason they banned it is because they were afraid if you had stuff like this going on. Let's see, let's put my flash on. Of course, now it's not going to work. If you had these cell phone flashes working, it was going to give Hillary a seizure. So let's go to that Pix 11 clip now. And here's, I could give her a seizure right there. So here we go. Let's go to that footage.
Those of you who watched to the bitter end of this, did you catch this? The comeback of the cardboard camera. Holy 80s driving to the photomat, Batman. You know, we thought it was like a Secret Service thing, banning the cell phones. But then there was this whole nice diversion that was happening on Twitter, too. Ken Bone winning the Twitter war. Look at this. You got the Ken Bone costume already on GQ. And then we love the fact the #1 most retweeted tweet of the night, more than 67,000 times from CUNY's own Bayoumi Mustafa, a professor there. I'm a Muslim, and I would like to report a crazy man threatening a woman on a stage in Missouri.
Wow.
So what do you say, guys? This would get rid of the selfie, right?
Yeah. Nobody ever did selfies with
Whoa, guys, you know what? This is the reason why it was banned, apparently, because the Secret Service did not trust people to disable the flashes on their cameras.
So interesting.
And they were afraid it would sort of inspire Hillary's seizure disorder that have a problem with that again.
Yes, you could turn it off.
Right.
Wow, she just said seizure disorder. But I thought Hillary was in perfect health. She was, you know, Bill Clinton said she works like a demon. Tim Kaine says he can barely keep up with her. But we can't have flash photography around her, or we have to have this old 80s technology because she's used to that. I want to go to one more quick clip before we bring in our guest with Joe Biggs over in the War Room. CNN tells voters what to say. This is a CNN host who is, you can actually hear her coaching the voter. It's the black lady sitting down. You can hear her saying exactly what to say. So check this out. This is how they tried to fool you by staging everything. And you notice CNN was one of the only polls that had Clinton winning the debate. So here you go.
That America already is great, but we are great because we are good.
America's great. All right, so I want to ask you, what was it about Hillary Clinton's argument that resonated with you following Donald Trump's defense of the video?
She's
stated that America is already great, and I tend to agree with that. Though we are slow in progressing in a number of areas, we are progressing, and we need to continue the momentum.
Like a trained seal. She tells her what to say, then she repeats it. And then we pretend that it's actual news. That's what they're doing over at CNN. What was that? I didn't hear you. I heard somebody say something in my ear, but I don't know if they're giving me direction or not. So I was too busy clapping like a seal, performing like they tell me to do at CNN, because that's what they do. They want you to perform for the camera. I'm not going to have time to go to this video, but we just posted this from Millennial Millie, one of our InfoWars reporters traveling around, just doing a great job shooting reports. And she went to a rally in Pennsylvania. I think it was Ambridge, Pennsylvania, talked to Trump supporters and Clinton supporters. And, I'm going to let you judge the difference in those people. But you can check out that. It's on Infowars.com right now. Trump Patriots versus Looney protesters at PA post-debate rally. And it's amazing. She interviews a guy who says it's not a big deal that Clinton raped those women, because that's in the past. That's in the past. But it's a big deal Bill Cosby raped him, because that's in the past too. But it's Bill Cosby, and we're going to go after him because we don't like him for some reason. Because he was calling out, I think, young black men for wearing their pants down to their ankles. And they don't like that. They like to keep that image going. So, and before we go to our guest, real quick, if you're not supporting us at InfoWarsStore.com, please consider doing that, especially with our InfoWars Life products. We now have the Biome Defense, a probiotic I just started taking. It's definitely increased my energy. The Bio True Selenium we have also, and we have 23% off DNA Force going on right now. Also got Brain Force, Super Male Vitality, the amazing Survival Shield X2. It's all there, InfoWarsLife.com, and you're not only helping yourself, you're supporting our operation, sending people like Owen out to cover these Trump at Hillary debates and all these Trump rallies we've been going to, being able to hire more staff so we could do these these live events that happen. I don't know if people know this, but last week we did the WikiLeaks and then the VP debate. Pretty much in a 24-hour span, we were doing 2 live events plus the show plus the nightly news. So, and this is just the crew that we have. Some of the crew members were standing up here 12, 13, 15 hours. Amazing stuff. So let's go to the war room where we have Joe Biggs standing by with Nate Self and Joel Carpenter. These are 2 Army Rangers. And guys, let's get into Clinton's use of classified emails and how you guys have basically been entrusted with the same type of information, that she was getting, but classified information. And you're not allowed to just willy-nilly put it on servers in your bathrooms, are you?
No, not at all. I mean, me and Nate and Joel were talking back in the green room, and we were talking about how it's interesting that, okay, classifications, things can change over time, right? Something can go from not being classified to classified. But you brought up a good point. It's not the fact that it went from not being classified to classified. It's the fact that she used her personal email server, her personal computer, to do work stuff on, and that is the big no.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I think back to being in Afghanistan in late 2001 and the protocols we were given to call home to our family members, and I remember talking to my wife on the phone and just telling her pretty much a bunch of nothing, just I love you, because we knew that people were listening to the phones, friendly and enemy, and it wasn't worth the risk at that time. I couldn't even tell her what time of day it was because I didn't want to give away to anyone what part of the war we were in. And all the way down to our lowest privates who didn't have that much time in the Army or in special operations, they knew that every channel that we had that wasn't specifically classified was off limits for talking about work.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what people don't understand. Like, Hillary Clinton knew that this was happening. We have the proof from the FBI that this was going on, and yet they come out and say, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. No one's going to prosecute it. But if it were you or I or Joel, and we did something like that, we would be in Leavenworth right now, And she has this political privilege that she's able to go and do whatever she wants, and it's fine. Bill can do whatever he wants and treat women like crap, and it's okay. And we were talking in the green room as well. Another interesting point is the fact that everyone's hammering Trump right now on the fact that these Trump tapes came out and that he said some things in the back, while he thought he was off camera. Don't tell me a single guy out there who has never said something like that, or a female who has never said something like that, because I've been out with my girlfriend on her girl nights, and I've heard women talk before. They say just as bad things. But Joel was bringing up a good point about the 50 Shades of Grey thing.
Yeah, so I just find it interesting that everybody hops on the bandwagon kind of and talks about how horrible it is, whatever Trump has said, when we have movies that come out like 50 Shades of Grey,
objectifying women.
Exactly, and then it sold 125 million copies worldwide, and it made $500 million at the box office. So who's buying these books, and who's going to see the movie to drive that sort of box office? And do they feel the same way about 50 Shades of Grey as they do about what Trump said?
Yeah, Trump said something. Bill Clinton did something.
Hey, guys, if I could jump in real quick, any Kevin Smith movie you've ever watched has language worse, way worse. I mean, you just look at what we throw out in our landscape in media. It's curse this, it's curse that, sexual innuendos, the rap music. So it's, for one reason, I'm not surprised that Trump would use this kind of language. That doesn't really surprise me that anyone would use this type of language. But then to just say that he's the only person in the world to ever use the P word.
Hillary Clinton called all black people super predators.
Right. But nobody wants to talk about that.
But no one's going to say anything about that. No one's mad about that. They're mad because Trump said he was going to fondle a lady. I've been in locker rooms. I've been in the military. I've heard way worse talk before. And the fact that the Bush has held on to this for so long, they're using this for political purposes. They don't care because they've all said the same stuff. If we were to dig into any one of these Bush guys, I guarantee you, especially George W. Bush, we would probably hear far worse things. But hey, let's not focus on that. Let's go after the one guy who's actually going to do something.
They flushed their minion down the toilet now that Billy Bush performed, and he was like, oh, I remember I talked to Trump about this, and they got the stuff together. Now he's gone. He's been suspended from the Today Show. So that's what happens when you work with these people. They will flush you down the toilet when they're done working with you. Or kill you, whatever comes first.
So I'm in here studio now with Nate Self and Joel Carpenter. They were in the 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment. And today we actually had an opportunity to talk about the book that Nate wrote, My Two Wars. And he was part of a very intense battle in Afghanistan called the Battle of Takur Ghar. And tell us about that. Go into a little detail about that. A lot of people might have never heard about that, but it's very interesting.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I was privileged enough to serve with the 75th Ranger Regiment, which is one of our most elite Army forces, infantry forces. And I went to Afghanistan shortly after 9/11, and we assumed the mission to kill or capture al-Qaeda's top leaders when we were there. And, early in the war, that was a pretty difficult thing to do, to find exactly where they were. But daily, we were flying on missions trying to find people that were responsible for attacking us on 9/11. And a couple of months into that deployment, we had a specific pocket of al-Qaeda fighters that were in the southeastern part of Afghanistan, and we made a decision to go in after them. And part of that operation, which came to be known as Operation Anaconda, we had a SEAL team that was going in to land in this enemy-held area, and they were going to occupy a mountaintop called Takur Ghar, which is literally translated tall mountain. And they were going to go in there and basically report and call in close airstrikes on the enemy. And as they were infiltrating, they essentially landed in an enemy position, came under fire, and as the pilot flew away, one of the SEAL team members fell out of the back of the helicopter into enemy hands, essentially surrounded, cut off, alone as his helicopter flew away. His name is Neil Roberts, member of SEAL Team 6. And after one failed rescue attempt, my team was called to come in and try to find him. And we were also shot down on the same mountain.
So it was, if I'm not correct, you said it was 10 people on the helicopter, right? So it was 10 Rangers in that first wave. Then you had another wave that was coming in afterwards. You guys came in separately. Your helicopter was shot down, and then from there, you guys were in a pretty intense battle for quite some time. Tell us about what happened once the helicopter went down, what you guys did, and how that unfolded.
Well, the assault team was 2 teams of Rangers across 2 helicopters, and I was on the lead helicopter. And when we went in, it was just before sunup. We got shot down in the same landing zone the SEALs had been shot up in. And as soon as we hit the ground, it was very intense gunfire, rocket propelled grenades and machine gun fire coming through both sides of the aircraft.
Mortars.
Yeah, everything. Everything they had was thrown at us. We were essentially in a kill zone of an ambush on our landing zone, and kind of trapped inside the helicopter. So as we started to get out of the back of the helicopter, several other Rangers were wounded or killed getting off the aircraft, and frankly, none of us should have gotten out of the aircraft alive. But my team, along with the air crew that started to fight also, that was more than the 10, but we had many wounded and killed at that point, began to fight just before sunup, knee-deep snow on top of this mountain about 10,000 feet up above sea level, and just started to try to take the fight to the enemy, and called in close air support nearly on our own position for several hours as we tried to inch our way towards the enemy. And after a few hours, we were able to take the mountain, and then we found Neil Roberts and secured him, and he had already been killed. And John Chapman, a member of his team that was part of a first rescue attempt of his original SEAL team, they went up there and tried to find him, couldn't find him, and John Chapman was killed up there as well. So 5 men on board my aircraft were killed, laying down their lives to bring one home.
Yeah, that's intense. I mean, think about this. You hear today in these new leaked emails that in one of them, it says that Hillary hates everyday Americans who go out there and lay down their life to fight for freedom, to fight for America. You know, to me, that pisses me off. You know, you are a true hero, but she calls us deplorables. You know, that's the kind of political environment we are in right now, that we have someone who wants to bring back true Americana, patriotism, that it's okay to have a flag, that it's okay to say the Pledge of Allegiance, you know, and then we've got one lady who just hates America. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, those are strong words. And, you know, it's difficult to watch what's happened to our country and the situation with security, and even domestically, the situation with security, but abroad as well, what's happened since we all were over there fighting those wars, and those brothers and sisters that we have that are still over there and deploying, to feel that level of disrespect. It's a tough one to take.
Yeah, it's interesting. And we've seen the military move in such a direction that's just out of this world over the last 8 years under Obama. We have these, now the military is going to pay for people to have these transgendered surgeries, but we have homeless veterans on every street corner, under every overpass, that are sitting there. They need help. The VA is allowing people to die in many areas. They're on wait lists. It's horrible, but you want to pay some guy that's confused to chop something off. We want to take $8 million a year to take care of the 0.03% of the people that deal with transgenderism, but we want to ignore the mass amounts of Americans, men and women, who are willing to fight for their country.
Yeah, unfortunately, Joe, the after combat story is one that I've lived personally, and it wasn't a pretty one for me. Although I'm surviving and thriving now with the support of my family and the community and other veterans. It is sad to see the rate of veteran suicide, the rate of soldier or service member suicide that we've seen over the last decade or so. You know, we just have to do more.
I mean, they say that it's 22 a day. I think it's even higher. I mean, I know 3 within this year alone. You know, 3 really good friends who are struggling, and I've known people who've gone to the VA time and time again, in tears, crying, asking for help, and we just can't get it. Can't get it. And it literally is a tougher battle back here sometimes than it is when you're over there, because sometimes it was a lot easier. You had your friends around you. Everyone knew what was going on. When you get out, you're alone. Almost essentially, you feel like you're the only one dealing with that. And you have this government that could really care less about you anymore because you're no longer serving, so to say. So they wanted to do everything they could for you while you're in. But once you get out, it's like, you've got other things to worry about. We need to make sure our soldiers are wearing high heels so they can walk every day, you know, a mile in women's shoes. And those are the kind of training things that we see time and time again that are popping up. I mean, I want to commend both you guys for all this stuff, but is there anything else you'd like to say about that as well, how the Army's changing, the direction it's going in?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I personally have never suffered from a PTSD or anything, but I did have a difficult transition when I got out. You know, even it continues in some ways today, but I think what you just were speaking of is when you get out, you're on your own. Something that I started looking at was, you know, when you're brought into the military, there's an indoctrination, and there has to be, and we're taught to, you know, live a collective model, and it works. It works in the military. but in other environments, it doesn't necessarily work. But you put your heart into that, and basically everything is shared. So it's ammo that's shared, food is shared, water shared. And then when you get out, just like you said, now you're on your own. So there's an indoctrination. There's not necessarily an outdoctrination, where somebody's looking at the psychological aspects of maybe someone who doesn't understand that, hey, wait a second, I lived and I was indoctrinated into a collective mentality. Now I'm an individual again. And just for me to recognize that that's what happened, a lot of times I would always be just completely perplexed at, okay, well, wait a second. That guy, when I knew him in the military, he wasn't that squared away. And now he's flourishing on the outside. And I think about it and I'm thinking, okay, well, wait, maybe because he never really invested into the collective of the military and the brotherhood of, combat. And that's the reason why he wasn't that good at that. But then when he got out, he was very good at being an individual and, becoming an entrepreneur and some of the things that maybe veterans find challenging. Yeah, exactly. So
before we end the show today, tell us about your website. Tell us about the book, your upcoming projects, and what we can look forward to, Nate.
Yeah, well, I have a personal website called nateself.com, which is my name. The business that I lead is called Praevius.com. That's Praevius. It's Latin meaning to lead the way or to come before. And we generally do leadership training and leader development work. Joel and I have, he approached me a few years ago and he had been really passionate about the story of what happened on that mountain almost 15 years ago. And he had already begun adapting my book and what he knew about the story into a screenplay. And so we've partnered on trying to bring this story to the rest of America in a way that they could really experience it.
So if you guys, what was I going to say? What are some of the things that you really find interesting right now that's going on in this political atmosphere with the upcoming election on November 8th? What do you want to tell some of these people out there that might be on the fence or anything out there like that?
Well, my perspective on it is that you're going to hear more stuff on both sides. We're not done hearing about both candidates. There's going to be a lot more. I think that we're only going to see more information about both of them, really juicy information. But I think what you see here is two candidates. One who is living out a career in politics, and we generally know what we're going to get. More of the same. And in a way, to me, seems as if rules don't apply. Going back to the just one example with the emails.
Double standard.
Practically speaking, most employees in our great U.S. companies would be facing serious disciplinary action or firing if they had used personal email for sensitive business matters. And we're talking about the commander-in-chief potentially. I think that that's egregious. I think that there's no excuse for it. And it's absolutely a double standard. It's pretty simple stuff. And if that's an indication for a disregard for the law, I don't expect it to change moving forward. On the other hand, you have someone who is absolutely an outsider, who's willing to take on the status quo and willing to challenge the Clintons, frankly. And I think that the people that are willing to sign up politically to challenge the Clintons, it's a pretty small list of people. And
it's a pretty dangerous task.
Yeah, it is, because as you see, more stuff will come out. And I think we should just expect that and take it in stride on both sides.
Joel?
I just think it's interesting, as today, where we see on some of the WikiLeaks where they're talking about, the removal of civics from, teaching. And for me personally, I found myself where I enlisted after 2001 in September or October timeframe. And I wanted to go fight for the country. I wanted to do all these things out of patriotism. But then after I'd ETS'd and gotten out, I'd realized that I'd done all these things that I'd never even actually read our Constitution, which sounds crazy because I was 26 years old. And I went back and read it. And so I know that, there wasn't, when I was being brought up, that wasn't something that was, put in front of us in our schools and stuff like that. So I think it's really important And I think that part of the reason that we're suffering so much today is because of that, which is evidenced by even in that email. They like it that way. When we're ill-informed, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what rights are being violated. It's kind of like it's left up to circumstance at that point.
It's left up to our controllers, guys, and I wholeheartedly agree. And I think it's great. It's never too late to read your Constitution and educate yourself on the Bill of Rights, and I think that's a great lesson to end with today, because we are running up on the end of the 4-hour Alex Jones Show. This is the 4th hour of Overdrive. I've been Rob Dew, your host. I got Joe Biggs and let's see, Nate Self and Joe Carpenter, 2 Army Ranger veterans, to bring their perspective to this show. And I want to end it with just a little thing I tweeted out earlier this morning about 3 a.m. It's Crackhead Dave Chappelle. Y'all got any more of them Hillary Super PAC funded polls? That's right. Hillary Super PAC is funding polls out there because they want to tell you that Hillary Clinton's way ahead. You can't do anything to stop it. So just lay down, GI, as it was the lady in Tokyo Rose would say that. Lay down, GI, lay down. And we will just roll over you with the New World Order. So don't forget to support us, InfoWarsLife.com, InfoWarsStore.com. And tonight, the nightly news, 7 p.m. Central. It's always a treat. Thanks for watching. InfoWars.com.